in order to rig the 2026 midterms in their favor.
President Trump is clearly running scared. He fears the voters who are rejecting his unpopular policies, raising prices for American families with import taxes, taking health care away from millions of Americans.
Pierce calls it a political power grab by the president. Democrats in Texas fled the state to block a vote on redistricting there. Arrest warrants have been issued for those who flew into Illinois over the weekend. Shots fired at police officers in Westfield Tuesday afternoon. Westfield Assistant Police Chief Billy Adams says they tried to pull a man over in a car, but he refused, which caused a chase and then a crash.
We can now confirm that the suspect is in custody. We appreciate the public's cooperation and patience during this incident.
Adams says lots of other law enforcement officers helped in the search, like state police, who used a helicopter to look for the man. The average price of gas for Hoosiers today, $3.22 a gallon, says Gas Buddy. The average in Indianapolis is $3.19. In Evansville, it's $2.95. That's the cheapest in the state. The win streak coming to an end last night for the Indiana Fever as they lose 100-91 to the Los Angeles Sparks. Natasha Howard says their defense was lacking all night.
Our defense, that's the main thing we harp on, is our defense, because our defense get everything else going for us. And tonight, we was a step behind on defense.
Kelsey Mitchell had a 34-point night, leading the way for Indiana. They will have the Mercury in Phoenix tomorrow night. And we now know the starting quarterback for the Colts' first preseason game, which is tomorrow night. Anthony Richardson will head out for the first drive. He and Daniel Jones have been splitting first-team reps throughout training camp. Tomorrow night's game in Baltimore kicks off at 7 as the Colts take on the Ravens. Now with traffic on the 5s. Good morning, Matt Bear.
Hey, what's happening, Jared? Looking at the north split crash clear, westbound 70 still backed up to Emerson Avenue. Northbound 65 loaded because of construction. 7-minute delay Keystone Avenue to the south split. And we have 3 crashes on the south side. First, northbound 69 before Epler. It blocks the left lane, no delay. Crash westbound 465 after I-69 over on the right side of the interstate. Then westbound 465 between Man Road and Kentucky Avenue. That's a crash blocking the left lane. Traffic jammed back to I-69. Delay time at 11 minutes. Looking at northbound 465 on the east side. Stop and go traffic 70 up to East 56th Street. Southbound 465 west side. This is a stall after Crawfordsville Road. And that's on the shoulder. Then northbound 465 at West 38th Street. We have a crash. No delay to accompany. Traffic sponsored by Rapid Radios. Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies with nationwide LTE coverage. For a limited time, get 60% off and free UPS shipping at rapidradios.com. Use code RADIO for an extra 5% off. I'm Matt Bear on the 5s at WIBC Traffic.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
And now the forecast from the American Standard Cooling Weather Center.
Mostly sunny, warm, humid with a few spotty afternoon storms. Today's high 85. Partly cloudy, quiet, and muggy overnight, a low of 67. I'm Wish TV Storm Track 8 meteorologist Marcus Bailey for 93 WIBC.
And I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com. Kendall Casey starts now.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Oh my gosh, do we have a show today?
We have a big show today, and I am completely not ready for it.
Oh, you don't even
I'm
just
running late this morning.
Just get all your papers in order, Case. I'll take it for a minute. It'll all be fine.
Okay.
All right, so coming up, a little bit later on in the program, Craig Haggard is going to join us.
Yes.
He is the state rep whose wife is at the center of the allegations of that allegedly artificial intelligence pornography was created in the or shared in the lieutenant governor's office.
Yes.
Of her at this charity event. He is now speaking out, and he is he's big mad, and he's going to name some names and say some stuff coming up. I believe he'll join us at 10 o'clock today.
So that'll be really interesting to hear what he has to say.
No, look. This whole thing, and so Merritt's going to be with us today, and we're going to try to get like a perspective on this because nobody knows Indiana politics or government the past 50 years better than that guy. Obviously spent 30 of them in the State House. And this story now, because Indy Star had a big expose on it this morning, Obviously, we've had the things that have come out from LaBianco. Other
and
people,
24 Site News.
Yeah, other things are starting to come out. This is perhaps the most bizarre story, and it'll be fascinating to get Merritt's perspective on it because nobody's been around and seen more than that guy that I've ever heard of as it relates to Indiana politics and government. And I just, look, I will say this about this story, and then we got the redistricting stuff we got to get to. We got so much stuff to get to. What is interesting to me is that two things cannot be true at the same time.
Right.
And what I mean by that is Tom LaBianco, by naming the guys, the journalists who broke the story, by naming the guys right from the get-go, he put the names out of the people who are alleged to have been involved in this, which essentially you could say, based on what the laws are both in this state and federally now, could potentially say he's accusing those people of committing some sort of criminal act. The fact that he named the guys, given LaBianco's reputation, not whether you like his politics, not whether you like the stories, he has a reputation of getting it right. And when he shows up to town, everybody runs and hides under the little fort you've made in your bed because he is a dude who you don't want showing up in your backyard.
You do not want his arrows pointed at you, that's for sure.
And the fact that he named the names.
Well,
right,
he's willing to stake his career on it, and if he's not correct, he risks his own defamation case.
Right. So you have him basically taking the stance by naming the names that this more likely than not happened, in his view, by naming the names and what he opens himself up to.
He's very confident, then.
And Micah Beckwith, the lieutenant governor, making definitive statement, it didn't happen, right? Did I imagine that?
No.
And Micah has, on multiple occasions now, said it didn't happen. He's investigated it. And so two things, and these guys are great guys, right? I think I've kind of, so these two things cannot be true. They cannot be, there is no, that I see any sort of gray area on this. And so one of them's got to be right, and one of them's going to be wrong. And whatever the truth comes out about this, if indeed the Marion County prosecutor is now investigating this, as Haggard confirmed in Indy Star, and we'll talk to him about it at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, and I'm going to ask him what, they've asked him.
They're going to get to the bottom of it. They're going to, if they care at all about the truth, and then one of these people, either a high-profile national journalist who's opened himself up big time, or Micah Beckwith, the lieutenant governor, one of them is going to be big wrong.
Well, there's something I think we need to touch on, and that is, regardless of guilt or innocence, this has become a distraction in the lieutenant governor's office. And I think that those who have been named need to take a really hard look in the mirror and decide what they're going to do. Regardless of their guilt or innocence, they have become a distraction in that office. Not only for Micah Beckwith, but for the office of the lieutenant governor of the great state of Indiana.
Yeah, because you make a great point. The office is so much bigger than Micah, right? He's the guy sitting in the seat, but it belongs to the people.
Correct. He's the guy there right now.
And here is what I would say, and then I know we got to get into the redistricting stuff. To whoever wants to hear this, I've been around this business a long time, and I've had a lot of success in this business. And one of the reasons I've had success in this business is because I know how the business operates. And you, the same for you, right? And whoever wants to hear this or needs to hear this, just take what I'm about to tell you to heart. I don't know what the truth is. I know there's two sides telling very different stories. What I will tell you about a guy like Tom LaBianco, because I've known Tom and been aware of his work for a long time, because he wrote for the Indy Star. He wrote for the Indy Star for several years before he went national. Guys like Tom LaBianco, they're really good at what they do. And they generally, with a big story like this, if you think of it like how they write a season of television. How do they write a season of television?
Well, they know how it's going to end before the first episode airs.
That's right.
Yeah.
They start at the end. What do we want to accomplish?
And work their way back.
And then fill in the story for the episodes as we go forward. that is generally on a mega story, especially when a journalist like this puts himself out there the way LaBianco has done by naming the names. Generally, not in every case, doesn't mean it's happening here. I'm just, Uncle Rob's giving some life advice on how the media works, right? And to some extent, we do this too when we tease big stories. We've broken several stories the past couple months. And Case, you've been a part of all of those before they went on the air. What did we have?
Well, you did it last night. You put something out on X and you said, hey, we're going to have a big guest tomorrow. You didn't say who it was.
Right.
You knew who it was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But when we've broken the multiple DUI stories, we had all of this stuff, and we gave people the opportunity to do what? The right thing.
Correct.
To come forward. Because we had definitive proof that we knew if we had to do it, which we did, whether it was the Bo Baird DUI that didn't get somehow magically reported because things were entered wrong, right? Whatever that was, 7 or 8 years ago, that he said, yeah, okay, that was me. I did that. Or the Bohachik stuff up in northern Indiana. We broke that story. We gave that guy plenty because we had the goods. And that's how you really should do it. And so I would be floored. Doesn't mean I've been wrong before, but I would be floored if Tom LaBianco didn't have some sort of something that he at least believed was a smoking gun in all of this because of how he has opened himself up to potential legal entanglements if this were proved to be an incorrect story. So whoever needs to hear that or wants to hear that, you can ignore that. I'm just saying, because you are absolutely right, this has become ridiculous at this point, and we need to get some closure on it so we can just go back to doing life.
Go back to governing. I mean, when you think about it, the lieutenant governor is in charge of agriculture in the state of Indiana. He's supposed to be. It's a, $7 billion industry? Maybe more, maybe less.
It feeds a nation.
There are important things, whether you like to admit it or not, there are important things that the lieutenant governor's office should be focused on. This is not one of them. So if you're part of this group, you've become a distraction for the work that that office should be doing.
Yeah. All right. Let's take a break from one ridiculous thing to the next, this whole redistricting thing, and now how they're going to try to, it looks like, pressure in. Hey, who said that before it became news? Hey, raise your hand if you broke the story that somebody big was coming to Indiana to pressure on redistricting. Oh, that's us.
Yeah.
We're raising our hands.
Yeah.
See, when you have great sources, just to bring this all full circle, when you got the goods and you got the proof, that you can say stuff like that, and boy, howdy, were we first and were we right.
We're talking about J.D. Vance coming to town tomorrow, and we'll do that next on 93 WIBC.
Another update is just minutes away.
Taking action against Democrats who took off, filing a lawsuit to give the GOP 5 more U.S. House seats in the 2026 election.
Hear the news.
Updating political boundaries, making sure every vote counts.
Stay in the know while you're on the go.
Vice President J.D. Vance visit on Thursday.
On air.
Expansion at Miami Correctional Facility.
And online.
Adding 1,000 new beds for ICE detainees. Worst of the worst.
93 WIBC. Mobile News.
Transform your home with Galaxy Concrete Coatings. You can say goodbye to cracked, stained, and dirty old floors and hello to durable, stunning surfaces that last. Their cutting-edge technology ensures a beautiful finish every time, and you get to pick out the color. Upgrade your home today by calling Galaxy Concrete Coatings. They're for garage floors, driveways, pool decks, and patios, and they come with a lifetime warranty and one-day professional installation. The phone number, 877-417-0635. You can find them online, too. GalaxyConcreteCoatings.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Absolute Comfort, your trusted independent American Standard Air dealer. Owner Chris Wedekin sells the ductless Mitsubishi Electric Mini Split, which is a great option to heat and cool individual spaces while blending into the decor.
You want your poker room to be dressed up, you could take a vinyl wrap and put on these. If you like the more modern look, they have styles in black, silver, and pearl white that would be more aesthetically pleasing for your rooms.
Find out more at AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted independent American Standard Air Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
Sometimes an identity threat is a ring of professional hackers. And sometimes it's an overworked accountant. who forgot to encrypt their connection while sending bank details.
I need a coffee.
And you need LifeLock, because your info is in endless places. It only takes one mistake to expose you to identity theft. LifeLock monitors hundreds of millions of data points a second. If your identity is stolen, we'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS at LifeLock.com. Terms apply.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is zero and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Pat Sullivan here with an offer for my friends at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling that you don't want to miss. For a limited time, Hope Plumbing will buy back your old air conditioning unit for up to $1,500 with the purchase of a complete heating and cooling system. It's time to call them if you're hot. Don't wait for the next heat wave to be caught sweating at home. Act now before the offer ends. Stay cool and call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling today at 641-HOPE. That's 641-HOPE.
Don't miss the biggest Lazy Boy, Flex Deal, and Mattress blowout sale of the year at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus. Hey, this is Spencer Thompson, and now through Monday, save 50% off all Lazy Boy and Flex Deal. Save up to $800 off premium mattresses, plus interest-free financing, free delivery, and cash discounts. Hurry, sale ends Monday only at Thompson Furniture and Mattress in Columbus.
This redistricting stuff is so ridiculous. And if Braun goes along with it, after telling the state that special sessions and vetoing stuff was a lost cause because the General Assembly would do just whatever they wanted to do on property taxes, which he did. We all heard Braun say that on Tony Katz's show. He said it other places too.
Yeah.
That, well, I could have done that. I could have vetoed it and called a special session, but what would that have accomplished? If Braun calls a special session for redistricting after stabbing millions of people in the back to help them afford to stay in their homes because special sessions and all that is a lost cause, this is what should happen to him. They should tattoo. He should be forced to wear a tattoo on his forehead that says, I am a liar for the remainder of his delusional days, Casey. This is gross.
I did ask Tony Katz's producer, Carl, if he could find that audio when Governor Braun said that special sessions would be a waste of time. He said it would take him a while to dig that up because it happened a few months ago. But he did say it. And so which is it? Is a special session a waste of time? Or is it only appropriate when it's something that he wants to get accomplished?
Okay, so just kind of to reset that it was announced yesterday. Of course, we told you this before everybody else because I had the sources in the State House that were telling me it was going down. Hey, Braun, just remember, you people all talk to me. So when you're flapping your gums and all the Braun people, remember Uncle Rob's going to get the info because you have no idea. This is the great thing about this show, Casey, and this is the thing I love about this show. There are so many people. We both heard it. Every radio in the State House was on us yesterday. And there are so many people who sit there quietly at their desk and they cheer for us. And they can't say it out loud because they get a paycheck and they feed their families based on these politicians. But there are so many people who on a daily basis cheer us. We are the little engine that could because we are the people out there telling the truth. And so that's how we get the info. Y'all flap your gums, and then people tell us stuff because they want people to know. They want people to know that we are the place to go to, that we get the info. And they told us yesterday, little birdie, about 7:30 in the morning, tweet. Hey, J.D. Vance is coming to Indiana, and they're going to talk about redistricting. And boy, howdy, what came out yesterday?
J.D. Vance is visiting Indianapolis tomorrow to meet with Governor Braun. They're also saying that he's going to be meeting with Todd Houston, the Speaker of the House, and also Rod Bray, and they're going to be discussing the potential of redistricting Indiana's congressional districts. My question is, where is the Secretary of State, Diego Morales, in this mix?
Because he's in charge of elections.
That's what I've been told.
And he's the hardest working man in all of Indiana politics.
So is he going to worm his way into those meetings?
By the way, we totally forgot.
Me too, pick me.
We totally forgot. I can't believe we forgot this because we got so distracted on all this other shenanigans that are allegedly going on. Indy Star, I think it was Kayla Dwyer.
Oh, right. She went there.
We totally forgot to mention this. This is hilarious. This is great.
We had said on because he keeps saying that he arrives at our beautiful state house at, 5 a.m. is what he says.
Right.
So she got up early and got there at 5:45 to check to see if he was there.
Yeah. So Kayla Dwyer from the Indy Star rolled in there about 5:45, and the doors are shut, and she knocks on the door, and she makes it sound like, remember Eddie Murphy used to do the Mr. Robinson character on Saturday Night Live where he was like the kind of, it was a play on Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, but anyway, and he used to answer the door, who is it? And that's what she made it sound like. She knocks on the door and you hear Diego's meek voice, who is it? And she identifies herself. Now keep in mind, the whole pitch from Diego is, unmatched customer service. I'm here at 5 a.m. every day to blah, 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 blah. He tells her to get lost and scram. Whatever. Come back at 7 or whenever the door is supposedly open. Okay, fine. And I don't think she said he ever even actually opened the door. Like it was like something out of the Wizard of Oz.
Right.
A picture where he's behind these. If you've never been to the State House, the state office, they have these gigantic wood, they're oak, I think, doors. I mean, they're really heavy old doors from probably the 1800s, and I'm picturing Diego cowering behind the door. Who is it? Get out of here. So she comes back at the allotted time or whatever, whenever he supposedly told her to come back. And
he was busy.
Then they told her he was
he was busy.
So Mr. Customer Service, I'm here at 5 a.m. every day.
Can't help you right now. Come back later. He's busy right now. Okay.
Anyway, we got derailed. So, look, this gerrymandering is about abusing you and abusing the process and rigging the process, not in terms of fairness, but in terms of a desired outcome. And Merritt's going to join us next, and I think he's going to get into this, that he has seen, because he's still got all these people that love him in the State House, he has seen sample maps of what they're looking at doing. And I was under the impression they're looking to carve that it's District 1, which is the region. They're going to try to rig that to get a Republican in there because they've had the National Republicans have had a target on that the past few years. Merritt claims he's seen maps where they try to take out Andre Carson too.
Indianapolis as well.
Now, look, they've already rigged the district in favor of Carson and as a result in favor of like Victoria Sparks or the 5th district. They've already done that. How are you going to square that with the straight face? We just did this. We're supposed to be doing this fairly to begin with, and now we're going to alter two districts in order to give our side more of an advantage because we can't get the advantage fair and square because we govern like crap.
Okay, so Braun described the discussion as exploratory. No firm commitments have been made. But then you have the vice president coming in. GOP currently controls 7 out of Indiana's 9 U.S. House seats. And Indiana Democrats don't have the numbers to block a special session, unlike what's going on in Texas, where they fled to Illinois to break that quorum.
But again, it's the highly fraudulent nature of these people, in which Mike Braun told the entire state, I won't help you with your property taxes, and veto this bill and call a special session, which is exactly what we were begging him to do. We said, make them earn it. Make them play the game. If they're going to do what they're going to do, fine. If you get the veto gets overridden and they go in there and they vote to do it, your hands are clean. Make them. In Little League, I had a coach who used to shout from the dugout, make them play the game. What that meant was hit the ball. Don't try to hit a home run. They're little leaguers. Make them field the ground ball. Make them throw to first base. Make the first baseman catch it. The odds of them doing all of that are slim. If you just hit the ball, there's a good chance you'll get on first base. Make them play the game. That's what we were asking Braun to do. And for him to say, no, it's pointless when it comes to helping you afford to stay in your home. But then if he calls a special session to rig the electoral process in favor of his party, what a giant slap in the face and middle finger to 7 million people.
Has it been reported that J.D. Vance is going to be anywhere in public for constituents to see him. Will he be speaking?
I don't know. Maybe it'll be like the Pope where he gets in that mobile.
Right.
And just drive.
Because I'm just wondering, according to Donald Trump, he's the heir apparent for president.
This weekend, Secretary of State Rubio said that he thought J.D. Vance would be a great nominee. You could clear the entire Republican field right now. Do you agree that the heir apparent to MAGA is J.D. Vance?
Well, I think most likely, in all fairness, he's the vice president. I think Marco is also somebody that maybe would get together with J.D. in some form. I also think we have incredible people, some of the people on the stage right here. So it's too early, obviously, to talk about it, but certainly he's doing a great job, and he would be probably favored at this point.
There you go. All right, so we're going to Jim Merritt's going to join us next. He has been through multiple redistrictings as a member of the Indiana Senate at their allotted normal time. So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about these maps he's supposedly seen that are potentially going to take out Andre Carson too. And we'll get his thoughts on these allegations about AI porn being viewed in the Lieutenant Governor's office.
He joins us next on 93 WIBC.
This is Denny Smith for Zero Res, and Zero Res is celebrating Pet Appreciation Month with something kind of nice for pet parents. Get 3 rooms Zero Resified for $129. Get 15% off pet odor treatments and $50 off air duct cleaning too. Look, pets have accidents, sometimes big ones, messy ones, the ones that make you gag a little when you're trying to clean up. And if you're thinking it's just dogs, cats can absolutely mistake carpets for a litter box. Vacuuming is just not going to fix that. Zero Res can clean virtually any surface in your home. And remember, Zero Res's patented ZR water cleans with no soaps, no residue, no harsh chemicals. And it's clean, safe, and effective, and that's why they have a 4.9 rating on Google with over 5,000 reviews. Just call Zero Res, mention WIBC, you'll get 3 rooms clean for $129, get 15% off pet odor treatments, and $50 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141, ZeroResIndy.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
It takes everyone in the community working together to create a brighter future. Give, advocate, volunteer, live united. Visit liveunited.org to learn how you can help.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Threatening with steeper tariffs. It's sunny and 70 in Indianapolis, a high of 85 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis for Gutter Helmet. Here's what's trending at 9:30. U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is in Russia to talk with Russian President Vladimir Putin as President Trump's tariff and sanctions deadline against Russia approaches.
Russian officials claim that they're skeptical that new U.S. sanctions will have an impact after more than 3 years of economic penalties already. Still, if no deal is reached by Friday, President Trump has floated 2 kinds of consequences: new sanctions on Russian imports to the U.S. and secondary tariffs, meaning tariffs on countries who are importing Russian energy, which could incentivize them to look elsewhere. That could impact major players like India and China.
Fox's Alex Hogan reporting. President Trump is now threatening to increase tariffs on imports from India very substantially later this week if they don't stop purchasing oil from Russia. White House National Economic Council Director Kevin Hassett telling Fox Business's Mornings with Maria, India is helping fund Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine through these purchases.
One reason why the Russia-Ukraine war might be going on for so long is that Russia has a release valve through India where it could sell its stuff. And so the president is serious about getting peace in Ukraine and Russia, and I think that getting a better understanding of India's role is what's moved him to this move.
Russian officials have so far expressed little interest in ending the invasion. And the president is threatening a federal takeover of Washington, D.C. after police say a former employee of the Department of Government Efficiency was beaten there. A 15-year-old boy and 16-year-old girl were arrested and charged with unarmed carjacking and the bloody beatdown of the man known as Big Balls. And your opening bell report on 93 WIBC brought to you by Absolute Wealth Management. The Dow is up 150 points to 44,111. The S&P 500 also up to 6,300. And the NASDAQ is in the green, up 46 points to 23,018. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten, classics are remixed, bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Discussing end-of-life matters can be uncomfortable, but it's also necessary to ensure that loved ones' wishes are well known ahead of time. This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. Up next, I'll share suggestions to help ease anxiety surrounding the talk.
Cardon & Associates provides residents with the best senior living options and personalized service. Visit cardon.us to find a community near you.
Direct, open, and honest conversation is the best way to discuss end-of-life wishes. Knowing your loved one's preferred treatments and desired arrangements will ready everyone for when the time comes. Also helpful, creating a will or trust to ensure assets are distributed accordingly. And consider an end-of-life doula to assist your family during the process. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
Pat Sullivan here for Gutter Helmet. Are you still putting screens on your gutters? You know, if the holes are too big, debris gets in and you're still cleaning your gutters. If the holes are too small, it sits on top and now you're cleaning the screens. I have Gutter Helmet on my home and it has no holes, slots, or screens. It keeps the debris out and the water in. Since 1981, Gutter Helmet has been America's #1 choice for gutter protection. Right now, Gutter Helmet is offering a 17% discount plus 12 months no interest financing if paid in full within 12 months. Call 800-5HELMET, that's 800-5HELMET, to schedule a free estimate. 17% off, restrictions apply, and cannot be combined with other offers. Call Gutter Helmet today at 800-5HELMET. That's 800-5HELMET or gutterhelmetindy.com and never clean your gutters again.
Casey, there is so much going on in the state house.
Really? What? It seems dull and slow.
Can't.
Nothing's happening.
I don't even know where to begin.
Building full of content.
Yeah, okay, so it's Jim Merritt, by the way, 30 years in the Indiana Senate. Jim Merritt, hello.
Robert.
You are our residential dean of all things Indiana politics and government on how it works.
Sometimes I like that. Other times I don't.
I will dealer's choice you because there's two topics I want to get to today. You can either start with redistricting or the allegations of artificial intelligence pornography. Your choice.
Well, let's get the redistricting. That's got less appeal out there because it's summer and people aren't paying attention.
Okay, very good. So Casey and I opened the show with this. We
I
talked
like what
about
he's doing. He's keeping people around.
That's right. He's becoming a broadcaster.
That's exactly right.
Yeah.
It's like when Pinocchio became a real boy. You're becoming a real broadcaster. Okay, so Casey and I started the show with this. My opinion on this is well noted. This is complete crap to me. We have the redistricting every 10 years. We have a census. We work off that. Every state in the union should stay with that. We should have fair districts. If they work for Republicans, great. If they work for Democrats, great. If you don't like it, have better policies, win more elections. I think this is ridiculous. And if Braun calls a special session for redistricting to rig the electoral map in favor of the Republicans after publicly declaring it a colossal waste of time on property tax reform, which was his signature issue. The public should be outraged. What say you?
I agree with you. I think that I went through three withdrawals.
Yeah, you probably did go through 3 withdrawals in 30 years.
Redraws.
Yeah.
And in 1991, my first session, in 2001, and then 2011, and that is what it's designed for. And you're exactly right. The census kind of rules the day. My district, my Senate district, 130,000 people. You could see the population move from northeastern Indianapolis to Fishers and to Hancock County, and you had to really follow one man, one vote. Sorry, Casey, but there
and then they let the women vote at some point, Jim.
Inject some sense into it.
I don't think I'm going to quote on that, but bottom line is you have a process, and we went through it 3 different times. You've got technology that's going to help you devise this, and it has to be reasonable to the public. And the idea of this change is not reasonable. And, you have your Illinois, you have your Californias, you have your gerrymanderings, and Elbridge Gerry right now is very happy in his grave.
Wait, there's a guy who gerrymandering is named after?
Yes, Elbridge Gerry.
Can you tell us the story on that in 1 minute or less?
Well, Massachusetts.
There's a real dude.
Yes.
I knew
you
idea.
would know.
Yes.
If anybody would know, it would be you. Tell us.
So great about our show. We
Yeah.
teach you something you didn't.
Yes, and that individual in Massachusetts, he really rocked the boat by putting these districts, redrawing these districts that were totally against the one man, one vote, and really caused a furor, and that's why they called gerrymandering.
Oh, that's crazy. Instead of some word they made up. That's only you.
Did I do it in a minute?
You did. You did it in 10 seconds?
Yeah.
Okay, so they are just trying to rig the districts in favor of getting, in this case of Indiana, as an extra Republican.
Well, or 2.
How are they going to draw Andre Carson into defeat?
They know I'm going to be on here for a couple minutes with you, and people send me these maps that show that you can change Carson's
You've seen
district.
a map.
Yes, I've seen
a
maps.
map that would cause Andre Carson to lose.
Yes, along with Congressman Frank Mervan Jr.
Well, that's interesting.
It could be all Republican in Indiana. So the 2 seats would be picked up.
Is there any possibility that they would add a district, like split one in half?
I think it's constitutional that you have to you have guidelines in that regard.
Yeah, because it works.
You can't have a
off the
district
census.
with one person in it.
Yeah, but it works off the census, right?
Yes.
You get congressional representation based on every 10 years,
right?
Which is why they do it that way.
But the Indiana Constitution does not bar what could actually happen here. So it could happen, and as well as the Democrats can't they can protest, but with the supermajority, Governor Braun can call a special session, and the legislators have to come in, and they don't have to do anything. It could be vetoed, but bottom line is this can happen. It's very vague. You talk about an iceberg, mostly underwater. You can figure this out. I'm against it, but it can be figured out.
Okay, real quick, I just wanted Jim Merritt is our guest. We're talking about this redistricting. Casey, go ahead.
Well, my question is, it's being reported that J.D. Vance is going to meet with the governor, Mike Braun, as well as Todd Houston and Rod Bray. Where is Diego Morales, the Secretary of State?
Yeah, he's Mr.
in
Elections,
this
isn't he?
Well, that's what I've been told.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure he's gonna try to have a piece of the action here, and maybe even Todd Rokita, the Attorney General, because if you remember, the people that listen to this, Secretary of State Rokita actually had a program many years ago, and this is Secretary of State really didn't have anything to do with redistricting.
Where'd you hear this, Casey? Where'd you hear this?
Right here on this
That's
show.
right.
Yes,
He tried.
He stuck his nose into it.
In a rare act of decency from Todd Rokita, in a land far away and a time long forgot, he tried to draw fair, or he wanted artificial intelligence, the primitive days of AI, to draw fair maps. And y'all, you in the legislature,
we
Merritt,
crushed it.
Yeah, you said smooch our butt cheeks, Rokita.
Yes, because it shows the code and the Constitution says that the legislature is in charge.
Yeah, but y'all could have used that. Let's be honest, why you did that? You wanted more Republicans.
Well, we wanted to be in control.
Yeah, right, exactly. Okay, okay, let's switch gears here real quick. Jim Merritt is our guest. One more thing. If Braun calls a special session on this, after declaring to Tony Katz and other people, well, it was pointless to have a special session on property taxes. I could have vetoed it, but they just would have done whatever they wanted to do anyway. If he calls a special session on this, they should have to tattoo "I'm a liar" right on that guy's forehead, right?
Well, everybody knows that I wanted a special session towards the end of June because property taxes, as well as that, erratic budget in the middle of April, we could have had something that was reasonable for the next 2 years. So yes, he can call a special session.
That should be. Remember in the end of Inglourious Bastards, where they catch the Jew hunter and they mark him before they give him over to the Americans. That's what they should do with Braun, except it should be a giant tattoo. "I'm a liar." For the rest of his days, he should have to wander the great state of Indiana with "I'm a liar" right on the forehead.
Right on his
I've
face.
seen special sessions fix less.
Okay, real quick, Jim Merritt is our guest. We got about 3 minutes on this. You have been around Indiana politics and government since basically about the time man walked on the moon,
Yes,
correct? I'm not being facetious.
Land began.
Yeah.
Yes.
So early 70s.
Yes.
Very good. Yes. Have you ever heard of a story in 50-plus years as bizarre as the one that Tom LaBianco has put out about allegedly artificial intelligence pornography of a state rep's wife being viewed and shared in the lieutenant governor's office?
No. In fact, in fact, this is a federal issue. We know this is a federal issue. The First Lady testified in front of Congress on this. This is something I am sickened about Mrs. Haggard and Representative Haggard. This is a situation that I'm hurriedly describing here. This is a pox on all the houses, on the State House and what's happening here. No one has come out and said vehemently denied this would happen.
Other than Micah.
Well, it was a soft. I did my own investigation here. This is an iceberg where most of it is underwater right now, and it's something that we all have to be concerned about. I'm sick about it because the family, people should, and this young lady was singing. I saw her. She has a beautiful voice.
You were there.
Yeah, I was there, and no one's seen the video, but it's a circular firing squad at the State House right now. The Republican Party doesn't have any discipline about it. Somebody needs to put their foot down about this and get everybody flying the same way.
Well, you didn't even need 3 minutes. I did that in a minute and a half.
It's sickening.
You're like George Costanza. You go out on a high note.
Yeah.
Merritt in the Morning. That's the podcast.
Yep.
YouTube, Facebook, and find him on Twitter at Jim_Merritt.
Robert.
You're the best. Thank you.
It's Kendall Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
And Nigel show 3:00 this afternoon. Nobody has more fun than we do. Tony Kennett will join us. We're going to have a lot of laughs. 93 WIBC.
Lately, the market has been making some big moves, and not all in the right direction. If you've been watching the numbers and wondering what it all means for your retirement, you're not alone. At Howard Bailey Financial, we plan for times like this. The truth is, a volatile day on Wall Street can feel a lot different when you're getting closer to retirement. That's why right now is the right time to take a fresh look at your portfolio, and Howard Bailey can help. Are you taking on more risk than you realize? Are you diversified in a way that makes sense for where you are in life? Find out today with the help of our free Market Volatility Guide. Visit retirewithpurpose.com to download your free guide and learn more about what market shifts may mean for you. That's retirewithpurpose.com. Together, let's make sure your plan is built to weather whatever comes next. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 9/22/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of 1 unlimited intra-line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. 1 discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile, Wi-Fi, and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
Ain't nothing gonna break my stride. Nobody gonna slow me down.
Don't let pneumococcal pneumonia break your stride. If you're 50 or older, you're at increased risk. So be proactive with Capvaxive pneumococcal 21-valent conjugate vaccine to help protect against invasive pneumococcal disease and pneumonia caused by certain types of pneumococcal bacteria. Capvaxive helps protect against the strains of bacteria that cause about 30% more IPD cases than any other pneumococcal conjugate vaccine in adults over 50, according to national-level CDC stats. Regional variations may exist. Don't get Capvaxive if you're allergic to the vaccine or its ingredients. Tell your doctor if you have a weakened immune system. Common side effects include injection site reactions, feeling tired, headache, muscle aches, and fever. Capvaxive does not protect against all strains. For more information, call 1-800-927-8888 or visit capvaxive.com. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Capvaxive. Need help paying for your Merck vaccine? Visit merckhelps.com. Sponsored by Merck.
News doesn't wait, and neither should you. Breaking news updates, local headlines, and statewide coverage are always available at WIBC.com. When the news moves fast, we will too. Stay in the know while you're on the go with WIBC.com.
Okay, coming up, top of next hour, we've got a special guest. State Representative Craig Haggard is going to join us. His wife is at the center of these allegations involving artificial intelligence porn being shared in the lieutenant governor's office. She was at a charity event, and then from that event, allegedly this video was created, whatever. And so he has come out publicly. He has been very forceful. He talked to Indy Star in a piece they had out today about this. He obviously talked to LaBianco yesterday, the guy who broke this alleged story, and he will join us top of next hour. He's got some things to say, so everybody stick around for that.
Yeah, Governor Braun was actually asked about it. He had a press scrum yesterday, and he was asked about it, and he did say that the Marion County Prosecutor's Office is involved and hopes that any office involved is transparent.
Now, there is a rumor going around, and I've heard this from enough people that I feel pretty strong I can say this out loud. I've heard it from enough people who are not connected to each other, that they were already sniffing around on some other stuff. And or I'll ask Abdul about this later because he's been looking into it as well, and we'll get into that because everybody was kind of going, well, they got on this really fast. Like the prosecutor, and normally prosecutors' offices, they don't just investigate. Obviously, you get police that do this and et cetera. People are like, that's kind of weird. They got on this fast. There is strong belief now from numerous corners of the State House that they were already looking into some other stuff. And so I'll ask Abdul about that coming up later. And people need to understand, this is a massive story in the State House. Like the Beckwith people are trying to act like, oh, this is no big deal. This is just some disgruntled employee who made this up. And this is a massive story in the State House. And it has the potential to be a massive story reverberating across the state, depending on what can be proven or what comes out of all of this. And so obviously it has Craig Haggard's attention. He didn't clearly blow it off. He's very upset about it.
Yeah.
And so, look, I until everybody comes clean on whatever that looks like,
right?
This is going to remain a story. And there's always people who want to blame us for everything. We don't got nothing to do with it. We're reporting the news as it's going out there. Everybody, we break some news, as obviously, like we did yesterday about Vance coming to Indianapolis. We do that. But this is what I tell people. The majority of what we do is we comment on things that other people report on. And so some people want to be mad at us and say, well, this person got let go and they were mad about this or that or what. No, we comment on it because a legitimate mainstream, nationally known journalist put out a story about it, and now other media entities are reporting on it. They're doing their own pieces on it. It is a huge story, and until the truth comes out on this, it's going to remain a big deal.
Yeah. So days after a viral video showed some teens fighting at the Indiana State Fair, guess what? They announced a policy change.
Oh, okay. So real quick, we do have to give credit to our guy, Indy Reporter, at Indy_reporter_. He broke this story of there was allegedly this fight that took place at the Indiana State Fair. He puts the video out, and then this is wild. He ends up getting into it with a bunch of local people who are trying to refute it. He's pointing
confirm if it really happened at the Indiana State Fair or
and
a different state fair.
And it was kind of interesting because some of these people are like going at him, and he's like, look, I'm just posting the video. These appear to be clearly have taken place at the state fair. I'm looking at markers. In fact, Stephen went to the fair last night, and then finally it appears a bunch of people came out and were like, yeah, we're having to change the rules here because of an altercation. And Stephen's like, yeah, told you.
Something happened? Got it. Everybody becomes a private investigator all of a sudden. Internet sleuths on the job. But it was the Indiana State Fair who came out and said that they're changing their safety policy. And that is minors under the age of 18 must be accompanied by a parent, legal guardian, or chaperone. And that chaperone has to be 25 years or older. Now, this applies Tuesday through Thursday after 6 p.m. and then Friday through Sunday after 4 p.m. No unaccompanied minors will be admitted during those hours.
And again, kudos to the Indy Reporter guy, the little engine that could, right? Like, he keeps getting all these things right. And I was laughing so hard because there are, like, known media quantities in this city who were fighting with him on social media. He's like, here's the video. Here are the markers. Here's who reported this first. Like, he got the video from
They wanted to
somebody
get
else.
it right. They were just checking, making
But
sure
they
wanted to confirm.
They were being like quasi-aggressive with him, and he's just like, here's the video. You decide. I don't know. It looks like the state fair to me. And then he ended up being right. Did he get an apology? Steven, I see you in the YouTube chat.
I think he did.
Did someone apologize to you? One of the people who was being somewhat aggressive with you? Was there an apology on that? I don't know. He deserved one. But anyway, he broke that story. So now you're saying that because of an incident, that they're changing the policy of
Yep.
I thought they did this last year. Didn't we go through this last year where you had to have an adult with you? Did they repeal the thing that was last year?
Well, the interesting part about this is that they're saying that the chaperone has to be 25 or older.
Okay. So if you're 24 and you're a parent, you got to have somebody. How pathetic is that?
That's the part that's questionable, maybe.
So if you're a 24-year-old, which is not out of the realm
As
to
a
say
parent.
you could have an 8-year-old kid or whatever, you got to have another adult with you as a 24-year-old? By the way, Steven says he did not get an apology.
Maybe that's forthcoming.
So, Steven, on behalf of all the people who are very mean to you on social media, thanks for breaking that story, and we're sorry they were mean to you. How about that?
All right, Representative Craig Haggard is going to join us next.
Yes. His wife is at the center of these allegations of AI porn being shared in the Lieutenant Governor's office. We'll get his thoughts coming up.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Hey to all the grown-ups out there. So summer slowly fades and backpacks fill up again, and we know the school year can sometimes bring stress, but we want to encourage you from Life Church that God's word can bring peace. Isaiah 41 says, "Don't worry, I'm with you. Don't be afraid, I'm your God. I will make you strong and will help you." Whether it's the first day of kindergarten or senior year, know you're not alone. God is with you, and we will be praying for students, parents, and teachers too. Parents, you can do this. We will help you. LifeChurchIN.com.
Pat Sullivan here for Hope Plumbing. Do gurgling pipes, the fear of a leak in your basement, or an AC unit that sounds like a lawnmower keep you up at night? Become a member at Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling and have the comfort of knowing you have a technician on call to bring total comfort to your home. For only $8 a month, you get up to a 10% discount on all plumbing and HVAC services, 1 annual free mainline snaking, 1 annual inspection, and so much more. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling and become a member today.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is $0 and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? single people making less than $24,000 a year, or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extra help. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-296-1251. 800-296-1251. That's 800-296-1251. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
Indianapolis was built for speed, electricity, and non-stop action. So was Live Golf. So where better to crown a new individual champion? Leading the pack, Rahm, DeChambeau, and Neiman. But only one can be the victor. So be at Chatham Hills August 15th to 17th as Live Golf gets even louder. With a doubleheader concert from Riley Green and Jason Derulo. Tickets are already flying out of the gate. Hurry and grab yours now at livegolf.com.
Hey, it's Big Joe for Absolute Comfort, your trusted independent American Standard Air dealer. And owner Chris Wedekin sells the Mitsubishi Electric Mini Split, a great option for heating and cooling where ductwork can't be installed.
If you have one of those homes that has baseboard heat or electric heat, ceiling cable heat, these can be specifically designed for those houses because in those houses it's very difficult having to do all the construction and remodeling that goes with adding ductwork into those types of homes.
Find out more by going to AbsoluteComfort.org. Absolute Comfort is your trusted independent American Standard Air Mitsubishi Electric Elite Ductless Pro dealer.
An official message from Medicare.
I turned 65 this year. I knew it was time to figure out Medicare, and I had questions, like when to enroll and how to enroll. So I went straight to the official source, Medicare.gov, to get the facts about Medicare. I found answers to all my questions, and I'm ready to get started. And so can you. Just go to Medicare.gov to get the real facts about Medicare.
Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Low T Center has improved the quality of hundreds of thousands of men's lives across the country. Now women can enjoy the same life-changing, medically guided hormone therapy.
Imagine how great you'll both feel. FixMyLowT.com for information and to schedule an appointment.
Honda of Fishers is now Great Lakes Honda of Fishers, under new ownership, just off State Road 37. Stop by for special grand opening prices during the summer sales event.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recyclers Studios, a ruling into how a mother and her son died at their Greenwood home. What the Vice President and Governor of Indiana plan to discuss when they meet tomorrow. Where the Department of Homeland Security is putting another ICE detention facility, and who's starting at quarterback for the Colts in their first preseason game tomorrow night. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. It's 10 o'clock.
Dozens of Texas Democrats keep refusing to go back. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Arrest the Democrats, bring it back. Let's get about the people's business.
That's Republican State Rep Brian Harrison as a vote remains in limbo in the Texas legislature to redraw congressional districts, potentially giving the GOP 5 more House seats in the 2026 elections.
And the House Speaker has given lawmakers who didn't show up until Friday to return and says if you don't show up to work, you get fired.
That's Fox's Brooke Taylor in Austin. The Democratic National Committee chairman applauds the lawmakers who left the state. Ken Martin just told Fox.
This isn't just some sort of stunt. I mean, this requires everyone at this point, not just Texas Dems, but people throughout this country who are quite outraged at this illegal power grab by Donald Trump and Greg Abbott.
Oh, but Governor Abbott insists the redistricting is not illegal, with Republicans saying blue states have been doing it for years to benefit Democrats. Israel is considering escalating the war against Hamas to get the remaining hostages freed and then maybe occupy Gaza, as U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee accuses Hamas of stealing food sent in, blaming them for starving Palestinians. As Huckabee tells Fox, the U.S. will ramp up an American-backed food distribution operation.
Over 106 million meals served at 4 feeding sites. The immediate plan is to scale up the number of sites up to 16 and begin to operate them as much as 24 hours a day.
2 days before President Trump's deadline for Russia to stop the war in Ukraine, Special Envoy Steve Witkoff is in Moscow for talks with Vladimir Putin, who's facing new potential sanctions. Arrest in Florida, where authorities believe a possible mass shooting might have been thwarted.
Workers at Palm Beach International Airport called deputies after noticing a man acting suspiciously near a dark-colored vehicle parked in a restricted area. When questioning the man, the deputies found a loaded magazine for a semi-automatic rifle inside the car's glove box. When the man opened the compartment to retrieve his rental agreement, they would then find the rifle as well as an assortment of knives.
That's Evan Brown. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Becoming a homicide investigation. 73 and sunny in downtown Indy, a high of 85 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. This is what's trending now at 10:02. Police say the deaths of a pregnant woman and her 3-year-old son found in a Greenwood home are now a homicide.
Autopsies were conducted yesterday, and as a result of the autopsy findings, we are now shifting our focus from a death investigation to a homicide investigation.
That's Chief James Ison. Officers discovered the bodies during a welfare check Monday on Greenway Street. The victims, 33-year-old Karen Clay and her son Carter. Police are keeping details private, but ask anyone with information to contact them as the investigation continues. Indiana Governor Mike Braun said on Tuesday that Vice President J.D. Vance will be coming to Indiana to talk about various topics, including redistricting. Republicans already hold a 7-2 advantage in the state's congressional seats. State Representative Matt Pierce called it a knife fight for democracy.
Because if we just sit back and let this happen and we end up with an illegitimate Congress, really our democracy's hanging by a thread at that point, and maybe it's even over.
Pierce says that Trump's actions are driven by fear that voters are rejecting his policies on issues like import taxes, health care, and prescription drug costs. Vice President Vance is expected to land tomorrow. Indiana announcing a new partnership with the Department of Homeland Security. Janet Cruz explains.
The Miami Correctional Facility is undergoing a major expansion, adding 1,000 beds to specifically house immigration and customs enforcement detainees. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem announced the expansion, which they've nicknamed the Speedway Slammer. It will hold some of the worst of criminal offenders.
The issue of illegal immigration was, I think, what the election was litigated on. When it comes to our state, we're going to cooperate.
That's Governor Mike Braun speaking on the partnership. Braun has recently stated that Indiana is not a safe haven for illegal immigration. Janet Cruz, 93 WIBC Mobile News.
34 points for Kelsey Mitchell last night, but in a losing effort as the Fever fall to Los Angeles 100-91. Head coach Stephanie White.
We didn't have it in all areas tonight, but we gave ourselves a chance down the stretch, and I think it says a lot about this group and just how convicted they are, how much they pull for each other.
The loss snaps a 5-game win streak. The Fever will face Phoenix tomorrow night on the road. And Anthony Richardson will start at quarterback for the Colts in their first preseason game tomorrow night. Kickoff is at 7 from Baltimore. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and at WIBC.com. Kendall Casey back in 1 minute.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and you know that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace too strict.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
Casey, it is the story that has rocked the State House, and it is this allegation that artificial intelligence was made and then shared in some capacity inside the lieutenant governor's office, artificial intelligence pornography of a state rep's wife.
Yeah.
We've covered it at length the last couple days. We had Tom LaBianca who broke the story on yesterday, And now the state rep whose wife is allegedly at the center of this has come out and commented on it. His name is Craig Haggard. Indy Star had a big story on this today that he was featured in. And Craig Haggard, state rep, represents part of Johnson County, part of Hendricks County. And he now joins us on the WIBC hotline to get the latest on what's going on with this. Craig Haggard, hello.
Oh, good morning.
All right. So I guess first to start off, one, how is your wife doing? Because she is the person, like, obviously your name's in this. It's the lieutenant governor's office. It's high-ranking people in his office. It's all these high-profile people. But your wife is really allegedly the victim here in this because she's the person who allegedly this was done to. How is she doing?
Well, and I think you're correct. It's not about me or anybody else. At this point, I'm a husband first, and it's about my wife. And she's embarrassed and hurt, doesn't know what to think. I mean, at the end of the day, I know you're saying, and what happened or what's reported to happen is alleged, but what's not alleged is that she is a victim in this. Whether the video did happen, whether somebody's making it up for retaliatory reasons, she is the victim in this. And that's why, unlike other times when people say stuff about me or other politicians, that's fine, that's our job. But I'm here as a husband, and I want to get to the bottom of this for a little bit of justice for not only my wife, but other people. This is a serious allegation, a serious crime.
How did you become aware that this video is alleged to have existed?
I was actually driving with my family on Saturday and I got a call from Tom LoBianco and said, hey, he was doing a story and it involved my wife and wanted to get a comment on the story, and that's the first I heard of this.
Did you speak with Tom about it?
Yeah, I mean, I started pressing him with questions and who said this, who said that, who did this, have you seen this video? I was confused. My wife was sitting next to me going, what is he talking about? And at that point, I was just trying to get more information. I think like everybody else, I'm just as much in the dark about this as everybody. I'm just trying to get some answers.
Craig Haggard is our guest. He's a state represents part of Hendricks County, Johnson County. His wife is at the center of these allegations that the lieutenant governor's office, people in the lieutenant governor's office, were sharing artificial intelligence pornography. I think the other part of this, Craig, that is really rubbing people the wrong way, obviously that this was done to her, but it allegedly was altered, or the artificial intelligence part of this, it was altered off of a charity event she was doing.
Right. She was singing, and I think this was the third year, there's an event called Who's Your Idol? And it's a charity event for Mental Health America. It's a great event, great cause, and she does this every year, and so no good deed goes unpunished, I guess.
Have you talked to the House of Representatives, your leadership there? I know that I guess you had some sort of altercation or run-in with Rod Bray, the pro tem of the Senate. Have you talked to those people? Where are they at with this? Are they going to try to help you get to the bottom of what took place?
Well, definitely. Speaker Houston reached out to me, and it was a very kind call. I mean, I know, and I think everybody knows that he doesn't tolerate this sort of behavior. And he was supportive and wants to do whatever he can do and resources of the House to get to the bottom of this. So that was kind. Obviously I made a strong statement about individuals or office responses to this. I was disappointed and continue to be disappointed in the response coming out of the governor's office. And I get administratively, you are not in charge of hiring or firing, things like that. But at the least, I think a response out of any office should be, this is a horrible allegation, if true, and we need to get to the bottom of this. We need to let everybody know in a transparent, independent way that we don't tolerate this sort of behavior toward women, or anybody for that matter, because the deepfake AI is a national issue. We've seen stories where young kids have been used against them. There's been suicides. There's good parts of AI. This is the bad part of AI, and we need to stand up and say we don't tolerate this.
Representative Craig Haggard is joining us. It's being reported that you have spoken to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office and their investigation about this. Can you speak on that?
I have spoken with them about that, and they wanted to know the same thing. Questions you're asking me, hey, what did you know? who do you know? Have you seen anybody that's seen this? Have you seen this? Those sort of questions. And I really did not have a lot to give them because, once again, I was as much in the dark as anybody else. And so I tried to be helpful. I know that they are investigating this. And as far as I understand, they've reached out and had some investigations with a few folks. And at this point, I don't know where that investigation is going to lead to or where it is.
Craig Haggard, as you said, our guest, Casey, he's the state rep. His wife is allegedly at the center of this artificial intelligence pornography that was allegedly shared in the lieutenant governor's office. Have you talked to Micah? Because Micah Beckwith, the lieutenant governor, made a very definitive statement, or he has multiple times now, I believe, that this didn't happen. We investigated it, and I think he's also said he didn't know anything about it. Have you had a chance to talk to him?
Yeah, Mike has reached out. I've talked to him a couple times, and I know, like anybody, doesn't want to think that anybody could do this, and hopefully it's not true. He's called to see how Brooke's doing. He's told me they're investigating. They want to get to the bottom of it. They want heads to roll. People will be fired if this stuff turns out to be true. And like anybody, and I'm glad that they're doing an internal investigation. I just think, for transparency's sake, that open the doors. Anybody come in, take a look, and prove me right or wrong. And that, I think, is the only way the public will have confidence in politicians in the State House to say, hey, we're an open book. We don't tolerate this. I mean, people already don't like politicians. They have a good reason not to. And I don't want to give them any more reason to not like us. And at the end of the day, ultimately, I just want to get to the bottom of this. If somebody, and I think I said this to the Star Reporter, if somebody did the deep fake, I want them to be punished. This is a federal crime. It's a state crime. And if somebody didn't do it and they made it up to in some sort of retaliation against the lieutenant governor's office, I think they should get in trouble. I just want to get to the bottom of it. I'm not going to blame anyone. I just want an investigation done independently and put this to rest.
I'm curious, after you've been experiencing this, will it guide you in any way to have this become part of a platform for you?
Well, I think all of our platforms in some ways are driven by our life experiences. So I definitely think so. A lot of my platforms and how I've legislated have been through, I'm a very constitutional guy. That probably comes from my Marine Corps service and my military service, but also having a house with 2 daughters and a wife and growing up in a small community. I think all those add to that. And I think with this AI stuff and also the ever-growing just abhorrent behavior across the country and what you see in schools and just the nasty things people do to each other, I think that it'll definitely shape any sort of policy I have in the future.
We'll get you out here with this. Has it been hard to talk about? And that's one of the things I've really admired is you've come out from the beginning. We talked the other day, and then obviously you started talking on the record. Has this been hard to do? I think a lot of instinct for people would be, let's just slink away. I don't want anybody to be embarrassed. Let's just let the investigation happen. You've been out and been vocal about this. Has that been hard to do?
Well, to tell you, it's not, I don't know if it's hard, but I've been kind of nervous and upset through these interviews. I think so much more because it involves my wife, and it really just, it's not just something I'm fighting for. It's something that I'm fighting for her. And it just, it still upsets me because I see her upset. Like I said, if it's me, no big deal. I'll face it head on. But yeah, I think it's important. I think that when good people do nothing, bad things are going to happen. And I think that we need to stand up, and I'm sure, she'll be fine. She'll come through this. Right now, it's just a tip, her phone's ringing off the hook. She's getting text messages all in support. And, but right now, if she goes out or if she were to perform again, hey, there's Brooke. That's, this happened to her, part of that story. And unlike her, I chose to be in the spotlight, and she didn't. So it's been a little tough.
Craig, it's my understanding he's going to be with us next week for a little more happy announcement. And I did want to say this, not that it has anything to do with this, but Craig was one of, I think 3 people who did the very hard right thing and voted against that property tax bill.
He spoke at the property tax rally.
And you spoke at our rally. Of course, one of those guys did and then folded like an accordion. But, Craig, man, I feel weird even talking anything political right now. But I did want to again say thank you, because it's the first time I think you've been on our show since that, for standing up and doing what was right with that, because I know that was very hard, and you and Andrew Ireland got a lot of flack for that. But thanks for coming to that rally, and thanks for taking that hard vote, man.
I appreciate it. I just believe in standing up for what's right.
All right, Craig. Yeah, keep us posted, and obviously tell your wife we're thinking about her, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right, take care, guys. Thank you.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Sun's up, the coffee is brewing, and Tony Katz is your morning information barista.
Tony Katz, good to be with you.
Clarity.
We're not interested in having this debate. We're only interested in honestly addressing the issue.
Context.
We should not present this in any other light. The objective is the destruction of Western civilization.
And a little caffeine.
Only the Constitution should rule.
Tony Katz in the morning news. Weekdays 6 till 9 on 93 WIBC.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
In the construction business, you're only as good as your tools. That's why Quality Supply and Tool offers DeWalt products, like the 20-volt Max XR cordless 3-speed half-inch hammer drill. Buy one and get a 5-amp-hour battery free. That's a $100 value. Or buy two DeWalt 60-volt Max Flex Volt 12-amp-hour batteries and get one free. Only at Quality Supply and Tool, and only while supplies last, or September 26th. With locations in West Lafayette, Bloomington, Jeffersonville, and Indianapolis, Quality Supply and Tool thinks outside the box. Store.
Garage Doors of Indianapolis is everything that's right about Central Indiana. They've been locally family-owned for 50 years, helping our local economy remain strong by employing 70 families. Garage Doors of Indianapolis is proud to do business right here in the great state of Indiana. They're a conservative-minded company that shares our values and stands by their products and services. You can call Garage Doors of Indianapolis today for service today. 875-4577, 875-4577, or visit doorstoday.com.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Okay, so the lesson should be, if you tell somebody on the internet not to do something, there's a good chance they're going to do it.
It happened again, Rob. Again!
Another toy was thrown.
Bright green.
The odds, which I believe was the odds-on favorite. I believe there was minus money on it being green, so there needs to be an investigation into that, unless green is just the most prevalent color of this device in question. Was thrown onto the court of a WNBA game, and it involved the Indiana Fever.
It did.
And it hit Sophie Cunningham.
It did, and she's the one who tweeted out, hey, somebody's going to get hurt. Stop it.
So they were playing in Los Angeles last night. Is that correct? And then out of nowhere,
2:05 left in the second quarter.
The toy in question, which this is now the third throwing.
Yeah, and then there were reports that there was actually a fourth one that didn't make it to the court.
Yes, somebody filmed. There was, obviously everybody's got a cell phone, the cameras these days, and it was on the ground, but it didn't make it to the court.
Right.
So you don't know if this is like the Zapruder film. Was there a shot? Was this the one that missed or whatever? Look, okay, so couple things on this. One, you should never, ever throw things onto the playing field of a sporting event. Like, that's ridiculous. These people should be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. Now, this thing, is it rubber? I don't know. Is it putting anybody's life in danger? Probably not, but you can't just pick and choose. Hey, I want to throw this and it's not dangerous. You cannot throw things onto the court or a field or anything in a sporting event. It puts the athletes at risk, puts potentially people in the stands. You cannot do that. So these people should be found and prosecuted to the full extent of the law. However, it is a continued reminder of how basically society looks at that league as a big goof joke. And especially without Caitlin Clark, nobody's taking anything serious.
Yeah, so it's been called ridiculous, dumb, stupid, dangerous, and
The league or the throwing of the thing?
the coaches.
Oh.
The coaches are saying that.
Oh, okay.
And the league has emphasized player and fan safety as their top priority. They say throwing objects on the court is dangerous and strictly prohibited. And the penalties include immediate ejection, a minimum 1-year ban, and possible arrest and prosecution under the local laws.
Okay,
I do believe the first thrower has been arrested.
Yeah, but okay. So what are the first two things that you laid out? What are the first two supposed punishments?
Immediate ejection.
Uh-huh.
Minimum 1-year ban.
Okay. If you are taking a sexual toy to a sporting event with the intent of chucking it on the court, the ban and the ejection ain't going to mean nothing to you because clearly you don't care about the basketball.
Right.
So that's ridiculous that that's supposed to be some sort of deterrent or punishment. You got to get really strict with people. Now, remember in the 2000s, the early 2000s, they had it seemed like it happened a whole bunch of people running onto the field during baseball games. Do you remember this? Where at one point a father and son tandem beat up a coach. I think it was at a White Sox game in like 2003 or 2004. Do you remember this?
I don't remember anybody beating up a coach. I know what you're talking about.
All right,
People
I'm gonna
running
put
on
this-
the field.
If somebody sees this in my Google search at work, this is for work. Father, son, beat up coach, White Sox game. Let's see how accurate my memory is on this. Oh, and it was totally right. 9902 is the date. I'm watching it right now. My mind, Casey, this was 23 years ago, and I got this right.
File cabinet.
Two White Sox fans attack Royals first base coach Tom Gamboa during a game in Chicago, inflicting permanent hearing loss.
Wow.
Damn, I even impress myself sometimes. But this was like a thing in the early 2000s where people were running on the field at baseball games, whether at a Cubs game, some guy stole a Dodgers player's hat and he ran back into the stands after him to get it. And they had to really crack down on this. And they're going to have to do this now because it's getting out of control.
Yeah, the fun's over.
Yeah.
Especially now that Sophie Cunningham got hit with it.
Yeah, and again, you can chuckle at whatever people don't take the league serious. There's a bunch of ways you can not take the league serious. Don't watch it. Don't give them your money. Don't let, if people say it's great basketball, you can say, you're absolutely not. You cannot be throwing things at a sporting event.
Now, I saw somebody saying that they thought it was being done intentionally.
What do you think? They're accidentally throwing the thing on the court?
Nope, like the WNBA.
Oh, for publicity.
Correct.
What would that say about them that we are...
Like guerrilla marketing.
Oh, so the theory is the fix is in. These are hired guns. Although the one guy got arrested.
Right. He's not going to do that.
I mean, if the fix were in, wouldn't you say, and the caper fled the scene, the masked man, never to be found again. He was wearing a Richard Nixon mask. Like, the guy got arrested.
So it really kind of blows that theory out.
Yeah, I mean, unless there's some sort of money being put in a Swiss account somewhere, but it speaks volumes if, let's just pretend, I don't think that this is right, but let's just go down that rabbit hole. What does it say about your league that you're dependent upon sexual devices being thrown onto your court to continue to get people to want to pay attention to your product?
Yeah. You don't have a lot of faith in the actual play.
And nobody's watching the game. It wasn't like people were glued to their TV. Okay, it happens. It's on Twitter. Everybody's seeing it. Yes, but that doesn't help you with your sponsors. That's how these leagues survive. You can say whatever you want about, for mainstream sports leagues, and I'm guessing the WNBA is no different. For the most part, it's not ticket sales. It's television rights, which the WNBA really doesn't have. I mean, they have some, but it's sponsorship. It's corporate. You think a corporate sponsor's like, hey, that's the league where they throw the sexual devices on the court. This is not who's the hockey team that throws isn't there an octopus or something?
The Red Wings, right?
Detroit.
Is it Detroit?
Yeah, the Red Wings.
Okay, that's a thing. Everybody's in on the deal. They clear the ice.
Yeah, but even that is really not sanctioned by the NHL. I mean, you still have to sneak in the octopus.
I thought there was a whole thing where people were just at the Red Wings games.
The hats, they'll do the hat trick, But the octopus, that's still, you still got to.
Okay. I
It's
thought
still
there was
contraband.
I thought there was some deal with what one of those teams where at a certain point they knew something was going to happen and they were all in cahoots and they cleared the ice and everybody was sort of in on the gag. No, I'm just making that up.
I don't believe that they're in cahoots.
You got to admit, though, that's pretty impressive. I got a father-son
Mhm.
first base coach fight from 2002.
So Sophie Cunningham, she kind of jumped back and was laughing it off, and you could see the coach telling her, all right, back in the game, let's focus on this.
But it is.
Focus on the game.
By the way, Brian in the YouTube chat says the manufacturer of the toy is the sponsor. The WNBA, brought to you by whatever. Yes, that'd be just perfect.
Mhm.
But you are creating an unsafe environment for the participants, and it's very unnerving because while this thing might not kill you, what if it's a battery? What if a battery's next? What if it's a weapon of some sort? I mean,
Sure.
you're creating an unsafe environment for everybody, and it totally should 100% not be tolerated.
Another thing that happened yesterday, Howard Stern's contract with SiriusXM ended.
Okay, why don't we do this? Because I'm glad you got to this. Why don't we take a break?
Okay.
I want to talk about this when we come back because there's a whole bunch of moving parts on this that I think are super interesting.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Life can be full of risks. One thing you shouldn't take a risk with ever is your family's health insurance. If you're self-employed or you now need affordable health insurance, you need to make this free call right now and see how the Health Insurance Helpline can help you get it. We specialize in helping the self-employed and people just like you that need affordable health insurance to get it. We have short and long-term health insurance plans, and some even cover dental, vision, and prescription drugs. Don't take a risk with your family's health insurance. It's not worth it. If you're self-employed or now need affordable health insurance, call right now and learn for free how to get it. Listen, affordable health insurance plans for everyone just like you are a free phone call away. So give us a shout right now.
800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. 800-659-7540. That's 800-659-7540.
Greetings from R&R Agency, your Indiana health insurance pros, and a sincere thank you to our loyal customers for helping us to another record year. We recently saved a 62-year-old retiring couple over $800 monthly when compared to their COBRA offerings. We recently saved a family of 4 over $400 monthly when compared to their $7,500 deductible program on the ACA, and that's still Obamacare. We recently saved a small 4-man manufacturing company over $1,000 monthly and gave them better coverage. We feature coverages guaranteed to age 65, low out-of-pocket expenses, the largest networks in the country, and you can sign up anytime. If you are retiring early, self-employed, or need coverage for your small group, call us at 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. If you don't call us, we can't help you. What do you got to lose? Call us 317-563-0868 or go to rragency.org. As always, God bless America, common sense government, and peace through strength.
Two of the best summertime traditions are back. The Indiana State Fair and the Indiana Farmers Dairy Bar since 1941. This year featuring the key lime pie milkshake and the smoked Gouda Q grilled cheese with Gouda cheddar barbecue sauce on Texas toast. The Indiana Farmers Dairy Bar since 1941. Open 9 to 9 at the Indiana State Fair, across from the Coliseum. Brought to you by American Dairy Association Indiana, your Hoosier Dairy Farm families. Find out more at winnersdrinkmilk.com.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
A new ice facility in Indiana. Sunny skies, 75 in the Circle City. The high today will be 85. I'm Jarrett Lewis. It's now 10:30. The Department of Homeland Security is planning to build an immigration detention center in Indiana, and they're calling it the Speedway Slammer. It will be built between Indianapolis and Fort Wayne. Speaking about that on Fox and Friends, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem says the center will take the worst of the worst illegal immigrants off the streets.
If they've committed criminal acts or been convicted of them, we want them to pay the consequences of that, but then we will send them home. They don't belong in this country. They never should have been allowed in.
Democrats and immigrant rights groups have criticized a similar center in the Florida Everglades known as Alligator Alcatraz. Some Democratic state legislators in Texas are trying to stop Republican efforts to change the state's congressional district map and give Republicans an advantage in the 2026 election. Their colleagues who have fled have until Friday to get back or lose their jobs.
Yesterday, there still were not enough House members here to vote because of the more than 50 Democrats who fled to blue states to block this redistricting vote. But there are a few Democrats who did stay here in Austin and did show up. Republicans are pushing a redistricting bill to help flip 5 seats to maintain control of the House in the midterms. Now, Democrats face a $500 fine for each day they are absent. Texas House Speaker Dustin Burrows met with DPS on Tuesday to discuss enforcing the civil arrest warrant.
Fox's Brooke Taylor reporting. Multiple European countries, including the UK and France, recently announced they will officially recognize a Palestinian state at the UN General Assembly next month, unless Israel agrees to a ceasefire and a two-state solution in their conflict with Hamas. And the NFL and WWE are signing big broadcasting deals with ESPN. The NFL will acquire a 10% stake in ESPN. In return, the company will acquire the NFL Network and its Red Zone channel, and the WWE has a 5-year deal with ESPN starting next year. I'm Jarrett Lewis on The Level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to My Computer Career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
The Indiana State Fair. It is a Hoosier masterpiece, a summer tradition like no other. I love the fair, the food, the concerts, more food, the tap room, the dairy bar, and coming up on August 14th, it's AAA Hoosier Motor Club Day, where AAA Hoosier Motor Club members get in free. AAA Day at the Indiana State Fair. You don't pay admission, just show your AAA card, and you are in for a full day of fun. And also going on right now is your chance to win a free music vacation with AAA's Ultimate Concert Sweepstakes. This includes 2 concert tickets to any Live Nation venue in the United States, plus airfare, hotel, and $200 to spend. Register online or on AAA Hoosier Motor Club's social media page. And if you subscribe to receive AAA Hoosier Motor Club emails, you get 5 additional entries. Visit AAA.com or call 844-GO, AAA GO, or stop by that local AAA office.
You know, on this show, we talk every day about politicians that I think we describe as disappointing Hoosiers. You know who's not a disappointing Hoosier? Our friend, the great Mark Deitel. In fact, he's one of the greatest Hoosiers that ever lived. And Mark wants you to know right now that Zillow ranks Indianapolis number 2 among 2025's hottest market. Home values have risen and are holding strong. Now is a great time to sell. Hire the team with proven systems to maximize your equity. Sell your home with our guy, our friend, a great Hoosier, Mark Deitel. Perhaps you're worried with the challenging market, you won't sell your home for the price it's worth. Mark Deitel guarantees your home sold at a mutually agreed upon price and deadline, or he will buy it. Listen to what Sarah in Fountain Square had to say about working with Mark Deitel. After investing in a property in Fountain Square, I ran into some financial trouble and needed to sell the place fast for max dollars. I hired the Mark Deitel team, and they were able to sell my property within weeks for over list price. Call the local Indianapolis agent I trust and recommend, and the agent who guarantees your home sold or he'll buy it. Call Mark Deitel, 317-755-4232. 317-755-4232 for all the details, or go online to markdeitel.com. That's Mark, DIETEL.com.
Siri, read me that text.
Sorry, I can't complete your request.
You want me to read that?
No, I got it.
Construction zone.
I see it.
Watch it.
Oh.
Oh my God. You're gonna hit him!
Oh, fuck!
When driving in a construction zone, be smart, be alert, be in the zone.
This is Brian Short, business manager for the Indiana Laborers District Council. Everyone deserves a safe place to work. Do your part in the cone zone. Slow down, save lives. We're all in this together.
A message from Indiana's District Council of Laborers International Union of North America and affiliated locals.
Is this us? This is what you chose to come back in
What
with?
is this, Kevin?
Apparently, Carl told me this was Howard Stern's theme song in the 90s.
Oh, in the 90s?
When he peaked.
All right, so producer Carl's with us, and Carl's with us because he is the Howard Stern expert. You worked for many years for Entertainment Television, and your job was doing stuff with the Howard Stern TV show that was on that network.
Well, I actually went into TV because of Howard Stern.
Like you saw him and you were like, I want to be that guy.
I was working in L.A., and nobody knew about the Howard Stern show, and Howard was their #1 show, and they basically recruited me to work there to explain this show to them.
What did you do? We'll get down because a lot of news with Howard Stern. What did you do for and the Howard Stern Enterprises?
Well, first of all, I worked in their video library, and we would receive all of his ISO tapes of isolated camera shots, and it would be actually produced in L.A., and nobody knew who any of these people were. So I had a log of who all these people were, and I logged the show in L.A.
Sounds dreadfully painful, Carl.
And one of the things I got to do was watch Howard every single night at E.
You got paid to do that.
I got paid. That was my job.
Well, that is pretty cool, right?
Okay.
I mean, some guy was digging a ditch somewhere, and you're complaining about Carl getting paid to watch TV. All right. So you're here because the big news on Stern is is it Sirius XM? They're one thing now?
Sirius XM, his contract is over this fall.
With satellite radio, and they said, you donezo.
Well, no, they said that they're going to offer him something else.
Oh, like a janitorial position?
No, like they're going to offer him another contract, but he has come out and said that it's not worth the investment.
Okay, so Carl, I put it to you like an animal. So I put it to you, Greg. I just think we have passed that era of an individual dude being able to dominate the airwaves and revenue to the point that it's worth paying the 8-figure contracts. But you know this industry. You studied the whole thing. What say you?
Well, it's not worth what he's doing at Sirius XM because, like, why would I pay for radio when I can get it for free?
That's always been the argument, isn't it? Is because remember when it's been 20 years ago that Stern went to
2006.
So the argument, it was like, oh my gosh, now he'll be able to say all the words that he couldn't say before, do all this, and it's like part of the charm as a teenager growing up listening to Howard Stern, because let's face it, doesn't he kind of cater to like young dudes? Isn't that?
He basically raised me, Rob.
Yeah, young
I
dudes.
started listening to him when I was 16.
Young, and people will forget that Howard Stern, for a very brief period of time, was on Indianapolis airwaves on this frequency.
Yeah,
it was 93.1 when it was the Buzzard, and he made that was a huge hoopla that he was coming in to compete with Bob and Tom. He had said, when I beat them in the ratings, I'm going to throw a parade, and he got smoked. I mean, it was a dumpster fire because his show just doesn't translate.
Didn't resonate with the listeners.
Yeah, to the Midwest. It's just not a Midwest. Bob and Tom were great because they were funny. They were talented. They had guys like Jay Baker and all those guys, or Mark Patrick around them. But it was Midwest humor. It was Midwest stuff that people could relate to. And he came in with this coast stuff, and people were just like, yeah, it's kind of any good. But the point of all this was, the idea of listening to him as a young dude was, he shouldn't be saying that. He's going to get in big trouble. You can't do that on public airways. And once he went to satellite where he could do whatever he wanted, it was like, oh, it's just some old guy.
He didn't have to tiptoe around the language.
Yeah, that was part of the fun was, oh my gosh, I can't believe he said that.
Right. But if you're not governed by any, if there's no FCC, him pushing the boundaries as a young guy, you were like, I want to be that guy that pushes the boundaries. And then if there's no boundaries...
Yeah, he was literally the super alpha male on the radio. He was the one that brought in the women, told off the man. He was the guy that got away with stuff, and he fizzled out in his old age.
This sounds ridiculous to say, but I say all sorts of things about my life that are ridiculous. The movie, what year did Private Parts come out?
Like 1996, 97?
March 7th, 1997.
Oh, you know.
Well, yeah.
It's on the tip. Is that the tip? Or did you have to look it up?
Well, you and I were texting about it last night.
Oh, so you got it. That's
and
how
I
you
looked it up. Yeah.
And so 1997, I would have been in the 7th grade, and I have said for a long time that my dream since I was a little kid was to be on the radio and be on this radio station and do the exact thing I'm doing now. And no offense, Casey, in my dream I was doing it by myself, but you've been a fine addition to the programming. But like that movie, and I remember seeing it for the first time on a channel that we weren't supposed to get, and it would have been after my parents were asleep, and watching that movie, and that movie changed my life. Like seeing that, and I know now, like when you're in the 7th grade, you don't know what's bullcrap and what's not. You think it's all real. You thought pig vomit was the real guy, that Paul Giamatti was actually, but you see that like, I want to be that. Like that movie changed my life. What happened to Howard Stern?
He completely sold out. And it was a puzzle because when Donald Trump ran in 2016, he was like coming out against Donald. Donald was a frequent guest on his show because Donald just said what was on his mind, just like Howard.
Right.
Was it the need to be liked?
When he divorced his wife, that was the end of the show. Then he became Hollywood and he married an actress.
Part of that was because the shocking things that he would say and the women that he would have on the show. But you knew he's actually a married guy. He's going home to his wife and his kids, and you were kind of in on that.
Right.
Carl's right. The second that ended, that whole charade fell apart.
Yeah, he was no longer the regular guy. He was the guy that got divorced and married, a trophy wife.
And he probably was making, because then the whole other thing is like it's out of sight, out of mind. Money can give you comfort, but so many people don't have satellite radio. Or if you do have satellite radio, there's so much that you can listen to. He wasn't.
Well, he was supposed to be the big talent to make you want Sirius XM. I mean, they paid him a groundbreaking $500 million.
How much money do you think they lost money on that deal? Do you think enough people got satellite radio because Howard Stern was there?
At the beginning, yeah.
But did it last?
Because there was only Sirius and XM. And because of Howard, they merged.
Yeah, that's right. So the thing that he interviewed Biden last year.
Kamala. I think he did.
He did Biden when Biden was still running. He talked while Biden sat there.
Right.
That he did interview Kamala. And it's like, what happened to you? And now you're just some old, angry leftist guy who clearly has some sort of internal misery. And it was just like, it's so awful to watch the heroes of your youth hobble away. And me, Howard Stern, is just some angry guy who hobbled into the sunset.
So his time was up a while ago. He should have ended it sooner and gone out on top.
You're the super fan, Carl. I think you're I mean, he disappeared from my life, 20 years ago when he went to satellite radio.
My whole career is because of Howard Stern. I got the job at E because I knew the subject, and they said, you need to work for us.
So, when you were younger, you just sat around and listened to Stern every day?
I was in boarding school in New Jersey, and I picked him up out of Philadelphia.
When was the last time you listened to a show?
When I left L.A. in 2014, I can't afford satellite radio anymore.
Yeah.
Carl, thank you.
Thank you.
And you know what? We're going to have Hammer joining us next.
Speaking of inappropriate people on the radio.
It's Kendall and Casey on 93 WIBC.
Coming up on Tony Katz today, Bill and Hillary get a subpoena and redistricting. That's kind of what people voted for. That's after the news at noon on 93 WIBC.
Tired of using your Indy Summer to paint year after year? Then do what Deanna did. She called Rhino Shield.
I was noticing some cracks and the paint's faded. I was like, okay, I think I should get my house painted. So my neighbor had a Rhino Shield placard in the yard. And after they were finished, I was just, wow. With the warranty and everything, it just seemed silly not to go that route.
The ceramic coating of Rhino Shield is specifically formulated for our climate.
So the Rhino Shield crew came out. Nothing was damaged in the process. I was very happy. They just didn't leave a mess. You couldn't even tell they were there. And the house looked so different. It just looked like a new home.
Backed by a 25-year transferable warranty. And right now, you can have that protection for 10% off the regular price.
Rhino Shield, I think it increases the value and the curb appeal of your home. Definitely worth it.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays. and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here, you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Big Joe for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning. Owner Jim Scott says only the best will do when it's your reputation on the line.
We want to install something that's high quality so we can move on to the next job. The way we install it is high quality, and the equipment that we use is high quality. So when I shop for something to sell, American Standard was there. It was just the highest quality there is.
In Boone and Hamilton County, call 765-601-1461 for Jim's Heating and Air Conditioning, your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
When you're way into Live Golf, listen to Hammer and Nigel all week for a shot at ground passes to see legends like Rahm, DeChambeau, Koepka, and Mickelson at Chatham Hills August 15th through the 17th with live music from Riley Green on Friday and Jason Dorello on Saturday.
Jason Hammer, co-host of the number one rated Hammer and Nigel afternoon program. The co-host, the better host, the best host, better man. Joins us now. Hello.
Hello. Great interview you did with the state rep whose wife is at the center of this deep fake controversy.
Thank you.
Great interview. And, I hate this story so much because I do some AI stuff, but man, it's supposed to be fun. The AI thing is supposed to make the workday easier, help out with school, and screw with your buddies.
Now,
it's not designed to create pornographic blackmail.
Yesterday, didn't you do one of Nigel escaping the cops with Joe Hogsett's booze? Is that what it was?
If you go to the Hammer and Nigel Show, Facebook and Twitter, you will see AI Nigel running from the IMPD after raiding the liquor cabinet of Joe Hogsett.
And you're like, even anything that's remotely controversial, which you knew I wasn't going to care, but you were like, cool if I do an AI of you getting hit in the face. And I was like,
right. You
knew I wasn't going to care, but you asked.
Well, I don't want someone to get motivated to actually punch you in the face.
Yeah, if they haven't done it by now.
So I think what we need to do to bring some fun back to this gross story about AI is have a moment of clarity featuring AI Rob Kendall.
Oh.
My name is Rob Kendall, and I love Brownsburg, but I love Diego Morales even more. I really do. I also love Todd Young, and I wish Diego and Todd were my parents so I could spend more time with them. I love them. It's also worth noting that I hate when Casey talks. It takes time away from me, talking about my man crushes on Diego and Todd, and sometimes even on Micah Beckwith. I find myself admiring his bright smile and hair. Seriously, there's nothing Diego, Todd, and Micah can do wrong in my book. By the way, my book is a horrible book, and it's available in Brownsburg. Now, if you will excuse me, I have to go back to talking about Brownsburg. Hey, Cheryl, put down your smoke and pour me a beer. Daddy's coming home to Brownsburg, and he's ready for Applebee's happy hour. AI Rob Kendall, out.
That's good stuff.
AI Rob Kendall.
That's well done. But yes, and it's like the weirdest story ever because Micah supporters, whatever, it's not true. LaBianco's making it up, and it's like, okay, maybe he is, maybe he hasn't wrong, maybe it's horrible sources. What a weird thing for anyone to make up, though.
But people do weird things. Why are green dongs being thrown out at the WNBA games?
Did you get a bet in on that? Because we saw websites where allegedly you could bet on what the color of the device in question was going to be.
I did not bet, but you know me, I hate betting favorites. And the favorite was the color that was thrown out there.
Why was green the favorite? Is there a reason?
It's just been the one that's been out there. It's the trend, right? Apparently, there's a big market for green dongs being thrown out.
Shows up nicely on camera.
WNBA games.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, the league's a joke. We kind of accepted that, and there's different ways you can profess that. You can't be throwing stuff and hitting players.
And how did this individual sneak it in?
Great question.
Did it come in the old prison wallet, or was there another way that this thing was, brought into the arena?
And we talked about this earlier. There was supposedly a second one.
That wasn't thrown.
thrown.
At a Washington Mystics game. Like somebody threw it, but it didn't make it to the court. They had
Yeah.
a weenie arm. It was like a Cubs reliever. So they chucked it down, but, it landed next to a kid or something, which, come on. What are you doing here? But I told you guys, like, during the commercial break here, one of these days, you guys are going to be doing your show. You're going to be having some really important conversation, solving all the political drama in Indy. And I'm going to sneak from one of these side doors and just chuck a green dildo in here one day. It's Hit Casey. We got another one. It's Hit Casey.
The idea
That's when the fun's over.
you would have to go buy one. That humors me. The idea that you would
I'd be like Flounder ordering the marbles. I'd like one green, please.
Okay, so have you guys went to the state fair the other day?
Yeah, did our show there. I couldn't talk.
No, but you had a good time. And obviously, this video came out about the state fair. It seems like the problems they've had before is the Marion County Fair. I don't remember the state fair having any sort of incident like this. But now they've done this course correction where if you're 24 and you have a kid, you got to be accompanied by an adult too.
Yeah. That's how bad things have gotten. Like, as ridiculous as that may sound, there has to be a reason for it. Like, when you go to eat at Buffalo Wild Wings downtown, and I found this out like a year ago because I dropped Christopher off. Chris is 20 years old. Jacob at the time was, I think, 16, and they were going to get wings before a Pacers game or something. You have to be accompanied with somebody 21 and over to eat at that restaurant after like 6 p.m. You have to get a code to use the bathroom there. And I asked why, because
a portion of their sales are alcohol.
Well, local youth, wink, wink, would go in there, create a ruckus, and some of the drug addicts would go into the bathroom and OD.
So let me get this right. You can go fight for your country.
Yes.
You can buy an alcoholic beverage. You can buy cigarettes. But if you can't go to the state fair, unless you're 25.
And the broader thing is, do we as a society just stand up and say enough is enough?
Right. I don't blame the fair for this.
No.
It's ridiculous that it has to be this way.
Right.
This is what we talk about with Indianapolis. I love Indianapolis. It's broken right now. Politically, socially, it's broken. But man, when this place is right, I love it. It takes me back to my childhood. I think it's one of the best convention cities in America. But my God, it's ridiculous the leaps and bounds you have to go to avoid some of the ridiculous crap.
Did you find this interesting? Because we talked about this last hour. Our boy, Steven, from Indy Reporter, at Indy_Reporter_.
Boy, Fox 59 was ticked off.
Well, that's what I'm saying. There were like mainstream news people who were fighting with him over this. He's like, dude, I got the video from this account right here. I'm pointing out these things that appear to be the state fair. Here's the video. And there were people who were mad at him about this. It's like, what are you fighting with him about?
Like, I got no beef with Fox 59. I got a pretty good relationship with those folks, but that seemed like a very odd fight. And they were pretty adamant, too.
Well, I understand that they want to confirm that it's, legit, and it is the Indiana State Fair. But I think you also have to take into account that you're talking about an independent journalist who is threatening their existence, their livelihood.
But competition exists, and the way that they were reacting with that, you would have thought he was saying it happened in the Fox parking lot.
Well,
it was just weird that's the fight like they really chose to have.
Yeah, and
tweet after tweet.
Yeah, and he kept saying like, okay, here's this point that appears to be the state fair. Here's this point that appears to be the state fair. Well, so-and-so contacted the state police, and they couldn't confirm. But look at the place. Like and Steven, wrong guy to mess with, like started breaking it down like this is a Zapruder film.
Right.
Like, here's this,
Here
here's
it all
this.
is.
And it grew him. What is interesting about that is it grew him by literally thousands of followers, that interaction. But I just found it fascinating that mainstream media people in the city were fighting with the citizen journalist over a video about about something that allegedly happened at the state fair.
Listen, don't let a lot of these idiots ruin your life, right? Be cautious. If you're going somewhere that you feel like, man, this is a little dicey for me, don't go. But look, the state fair, man, I've been taking my kids there for years. They work really hard to make it a great atmosphere and everything. Don't let a couple morons that probably have had dads skip out on them when they were 6 years old ruin your time.
I thought they had a parental accompany thing last year, didn't they? I thought.
Well, there's supposed to be a curfew in Indy, and you see how that's going. There's a curfew. Now, there's no penalties for it, and we will then call the non-existent parents, but then, I promise you, you're going to get justice.
Hey, what are you doing this afternoon on your program?
This afternoon, we got more tickets to give away to Live Golf, Big Live Golf. We got Rod Stewart tickets. We're going to play another round of Rod Stewart or Tony Stewart. And the Tony Kennett will join us. We're going to laugh. We're going to have some fun, probably have a few shots along the way.
If somebody wanted to do something nice for me, they could win those tickets to Live Golf, and they could take me with them.
Yeah.
Oh, what a great idea.
Those are also available for purchase.
Hold on.
You know, if somebody wanted to do something nice for me.
What if we did a contest where they have to go with Rob? And we got to, like, videotape it and stream it the whole way.
Yeah, but then I got to take a day off work, and we know how this show just falls apart if I'm not here.
Preach.
Oh, listen to you. Preach. Nigel in today?
Yeah, he's here.
Okay, very good.
You believe in miracles?
Yes. Jason Hammer, thank you.
You're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Myself searching for shelter again and again. Against the wind. Little something against the wind. I found myself seeking shelter against the wind.
Has your house become a burden? Why not sell it to us? Simple Quarters is a local Christian company that loves to assist people in difficult situations. Simple Quarters has helped over 3,000 families sell their homes in Indiana.
Wanda's been in real estate. I've been in construction, so she would find properties that we could fix up and resell or rent.
Probably we've flipped about 40 houses. I don't want to do it anymore. Health is not good. We're in our early 80s. Sometimes you have to give it up.
James, he did a good job. James was very cordial and, like I say, responded to our phone calls and kept in contact with us. So he did a good job.
When I got the purchase agreement, and he did have things in there that was pertinent to me. It's important.
Yeah, James followed through on what he said. Did what he said he was going to do.
Yeah.
Other companies make broken promises, but at Simple Quarters, we keep our word. Sell your home to people you can trust. Call Simple Quarters at 317-900-HOME. 317-900-HOME.
An official message from Medicare.
I'm saving money on my Medicare prescriptions. Maybe you can save too. With Medicare's Extra Help program, my premium is zero and my out-of-pocket costs are low. Who should apply? Single people making less than $24,000 a year or married couples who make less than $32,000. Even if you don't think you qualify, it pays to find out.
Go to ssa.gov/extrahelp. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
I was struggling to maintain contact with the professional world.
Dr. Ferner of Indianapolis talks about why he got the new caption phone from Relay Indiana.
When I got the phone, it turned it around.
Go to RelayIndiana.com. That's RelayIndiana.com. And read up on the caption phone.
People that I talk with do not necessarily know that I have this service. It's a piece of cake.
Go to RelayIndiana.com to learn more.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at DrexelIN.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Coming up in 2 minutes from the Technology Recycler Studios, Greenwood Police now working through a homicide investigation. When the Vice President will be in town this week, what Governor Mike Braun is saying about the state's work on illegal immigration, and how the Colts are situating their quarterback situation for the upcoming preseason games. You're listening to 93 WIBC, WIBC HD1 Indianapolis. Time for Fox News. It's 11 o'clock.
Yet another tariff. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News. The day before new U.S. charges on imports from dozens of countries go into effect,
President Trump has signed an executive order implementing an additional 25% tariff that'll go into effect in 3 weeks on goods from India, which keeps buying oil from Russia, which faces a Friday U.S. deadline to stop the war in Ukraine.
President Trump has warned of secondary tariffs and other sanctions targeting Russia if the Kremlin fails to agree to a ceasefire in Ukraine. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff met with Russian President Vladimir Putin today in Moscow. An advisor for Putin described the talks as useful and constructive with a focus on improving relations between the U.S. and Russia.
Fox's Jared Halpern of the White House, where Apple CEO Tim Cook will go this afternoon to increase the iPhone maker's commitment investing in the U.S., adding $100 billion to an already $500 billion Apple pledge to do more American manufacturing. Dozens of Democratic Texas lawmakers remain out of state, getting support from their National Party chairman, who says they should stay away to block a congressional redistricting vote in the Texas legislature that could give Republicans 5 more House seats in the 2026 elections. Ken Martin tells Fox.
Here today, we are celebrating the 60th anniversary of the Voting Rights Act. This is a clear violation of the Voting Rights Act.
But Republican Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton also tells Fox they may take action to fire the Democratic lawmakers.
Remove them from office since they are not showing up to do their job.
As the U.S. and Israel work on delivering more food to Palestinians in Gaza, the Israelis are considering escalating the war against Hamas.
The question now is whether or not they're going to occupy the Gaza Strip. And reports this week indicate that the Security Cabinet will meet tomorrow night in Jerusalem to decide on that very question. And if they decide to move forward with an occupation of Gaza, it raises a lot of very important questions. One, about the fate of the remaining 50 hostages that remain in Hamas captivity, 20 of them who are believed to be alive.
That's Trey Yingst. America's listening to Fox News.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Investigating it as a homicide. Skies are sunny. It's 76 in the Circle City. A high 85 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:02. The deaths of a woman and her 3-year-old son who were found inside a home in Greenwood is now being investigated as a homicide. Police Chief James Eisen told WIBC that they can't say much else at the moment.
To preserve the integrity of this investigation, we will not be releasing any details at this time. Our investigators are working diligently and using every tool available to bring those responsible to justice.
The Johnson County Coroner's Office confirmed the bodies to be of 33-year-old Karen Clay and her 3-year-old son Carter. Karen was also in the 3rd trimester when she was murdered. Vice President J.D. Vance will be visiting Indianapolis on Thursday to meet with Indiana Governor Mike Braun about redistricting. Governor Braun has not ruled out calling a special session to discuss redrawing the state's congressional maps, but one Democratic state representative believes President Trump's call for districts to be changed is due to a drop in popularity.
President Trump and Vice President Vance are so desperate, they're scraping for every seat they can get through gerrymandering. You have to be pretty desperate to decide having 7 of the 9 seats in Indiana held by Republicans is not enough.
State Rep from Bloomington called it a political power grab from the Republican president. Meanwhile, Governor Mike Braun is making something clear, that the state will be in cooperation with federal authorities when it comes to illegal immigration.
Any of the other issues on due process and so forth, we want to make sure we're doing that the right way.
This comes after an announcement was made Tuesday that the state will be expanding the Miami Correctional Facility with the so-called Speedway Slammer. The starter at quarterback for the Colts' first preseason game is Anthony Richardson. The team announced that this week. He and Daniel Jones are vying to be the starter week 1 of the regular season. Richardson on how the quarterback competition has helped him throughout training camp.
I just feel like it helps both of us, limit the mistakes that we make because we know what's on the line. It just helps us be able to make plays and just showcase what we can do as quarterbacks for this team.
Jones will start the second preseason game against the Packers. Tomorrow's game in Baltimore kicks off at 7. And the Indiana Fever's win streak ending at 5 following last night's 100-91 loss to Los Angeles. They'll be in Phoenix tomorrow night to take on the Mercury. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
Well, check this out. August is Pet Appreciation Month. Really, are you supposed to appreciate those little stinkers when they poop or pee on the carpet because you oversleep 5 whole minutes? This is Denny Smith, and let's appreciate the folks that help you really clean up things after those little accidents. I'm talking about Zero Res. Before we get any deeper into summer, you can get 3 rooms Zero Resified for $129, get 15% off pet odor treatments, and $50 off air duct cleaning too. And they can handle virtually every surface in your home from floors to air ducts. Zero Res means zero residue, and it's in the water they use. The unique ZR water uses no soap, no harsh chemicals, and leaves no residue, just healthy, fresh surfaces. Zero Res cleans our floors, and I'll tell you that it's simply amazing, and it works. Call now. Mention WIBC. You'll get 3 rooms cleaned for $129. Get 15% off the pet odor treatments and $50 off air duct cleaning. 317-388-5141, ZeroResIndy.com.
You're listening to Rob Kendall.
When we talk about sending money somewhere, we're talking about printing the money because we have no money.
And Casey Daniels.
My government would never lie to me, would they?
On 93 WIBC.
All right, so how do we feel about all the illegal immigrants coming to the state of Indiana?
Are you talking about coming here to be detained,
Yes.
or are you talking about just coming here to hang out?
Well, they're coming. The big announcement came out yesterday that the state of Indiana is now going to house a whole bunch. They're going to recreate, what are they calling it? The Speedway Slammer. This is the new, what was the thing in Florida that they called it?
Alligator Alcatraz.
Alligator Alcatraz. And they're creating these locations because obviously the Trump administration is doing their best to round up as many of these illegal immigrants as they possibly can. And the ones that they don't want out in decent society, they got to have some place to put these people. And now, apparently, the state of Indiana has struck some sort of deal with the Trump administration to house many of these people.
Yeah, it's going to be at the Miami Correctional Facility. It's being branded as Speedway Slammer. DHS says that it will expand ICE capacity by 1,000 beds, and it will house some of the worst of the worst.
Which that's, I mean, what you'd think the people they're trying to house. By the way, you ever been to Bunker Hill, Indiana, which is where the Miami Correctional Facility is located at?
I don't believe so.
Maybe we should take a tour sometime.
Okay.
Let's see, how far is it from here? They say it's only an hour and 14 minutes from here.
So not really close to the Speedway.
No, I think, yeah, it's almost as though they didn't know. Now, Andrew Ireland, our friend of the show, had been lobbying for Cornfield Clink to be the name. State Representative Andrew Ireland was very passionate about it being called the Cornfield Clink. However, they apparently have decided on Speedway Slammer as the nickname.
There's other names they could have gone with. Miami Detain.
Yeah, all we got to do is get
Hoosier
on
Holding Center.
All we got to do is get on 31. Now, Miami used to be Peru, Indiana. You go past there, it's Peru, Indiana. Used to be the home of the circus. There was a famous circus in Peru, Indiana. But anyway,
Ice House, Indiana.
Look, everybody. Here's the thing. Everybody's got to do their part for this, and it's easy to say, well, we got to get these people off the street. We got to get them out of decent society. And part of that is that everybody's got to do their own sacrifice in their own way. And if the state of Indiana can help facilitate this in a highly secure environment in a place that appears to be an hour and 14 minutes from me, then I'm fine with that.
You're okay with that? You got a question, who's paying for this? Will the state be paying for it or the federal government? So Governor Braun came out and he said that Indiana is taking a comprehensive and collaborative approach to combating illegal immigration and will continue to lead the way among the states.
Well, what does that mean? That doesn't say who's paying for it. Now, this is
correct.
Like if the state of Indiana has to pay for this, I ain't down with that because this is a federal issue. They need to be paying for it. But I'm fine with using the state of Indiana's resources in order to house. I mean, the federal government's going to have to be. All the people you're going to have to bring in, create. Indiana's not doing that. They would have to be paying for that.
Not everybody's happy about it. Representative Ed Delaney, not a fan of the idea.
Want a corn version of the alligator Alcatraz. And I hope the governor will be insistent that our normal Indiana high standards of hospitality and human decency.
Okay, so...
Did he stop?
Yeah.
Hospitality and human decency.
Right.
They're potentially highly dangerous illegal immigrants. What do you mean, hospitality and human decency? Ed, are we supposed to bake them a pie? Are we supposed to whip up some mashed potatoes and mac and cheese for them? Like what does that mean? Hospitality and human decency.
Now, something else that came out is that Governor Braun announced that there's going to be 3 Indiana state agencies that have applied for immigration enforcement powers. This under Section 287G.
Oh, you remember 287G?
Yeah, that old nut. It's part of the Immigration and Nationality Act, and it will be the Indiana State Police. They have applied for task force force model. You've also got Indiana's Department of Homeland Security and the Indiana Department of Corrections.
Now, Nikki Kelly, our friend from the Capitol Chronicle, and we'll get into this with her tomorrow a little bit when she joins us or scheduled to join us, raised some questions about the capacity of this place, and she got some sort of clarification, but then she said, I have more questions about that. So one would assume, although it's the government, so you can never take anything for granted, they'd already factored in whether this place has the ability to house this many extra people. But my question then becomes, if we have that much ability to house that many extra people, why did we create all these criminal reform laws that put all these people back on the county's responsibility because we said we didn't have enough room in our prisons to house them, and then the county had to take care of all these people without proper funding in many cases from the state to take care of these legal criminals that are running around in society. So I have a bunch of questions about that.
So Governor Braun stated that Indiana is not a safe haven for illegal immigration. But there was a report that came out that said we are now dealing with negative net migration to the United States.
How about net migration into the United States? Get this, it's down. It's going to be down at least 60%. We may be dealing with, get this, negative net migration to the United States in 2025. That would be the first time there is negative net migration in this country in at least 50 years. We're talking about down from 2.8 million in 2024. So Donald Trump has always run on tariffs, and he's run on a hawkish line on immigration. And on both of those issues, we are seeing record high tariff rates for this century going all the way back, well back into the early part of the 20th century. And when it comes to immigration, net migration, we are seeing record low levels, way down from where we were during the Biden administration. We are potentially looking at negative net migration for the first time in at least 50 years.
Okay, great. Let's take the tariff stuff out of the equation. Let's just talk about what he's talking about with migration. I've said this on this program for a long time, that while we certainly need to focus on illegal immigrants and getting those people out of the country who have broken our laws, a major issue that has rapidly changed our society, not for the better, is the quote-unquote legal immigration. The people that have allowed on these worker permits, people they have allowed, asylum seekers. When you look at it, and we talk about this a lot, when you go to your Walmart in central Indiana, if you live in central Indiana and you go to that Walmart, there is a strong chance that Walmart looks a lot different than it did 10 or certainly 15 years ago. And the reason for that is not because it's overflooded with illegal immigrants running around. It's because of these people they have allowed in the country, and many of these people have not invested in assimilation to their societies. And the reason, a major reason, you have seen explosive, irresponsible growth, oftentimes irresponsible growth, in these suburban communities is to house people who have been here on these worker or asylum or whatever permits, who have gone out of their way to not assimilate into American society.
Okay, now speaking of those permits, it was announced yesterday, Donald Trump said that he now wants to charge people, I believe it was $15,000 to retain those visas so that they could stay here.
Yeah, but and you're not going to you can't undo the thing now. That's part of the problem. Is you've created a society that now functions with and around these people, and it's by design. Do not kid yourself. It was not accidental that all of this happened. And so even if, let's say you kick all the people out, well, okay, but the growth has already happened. The change has already happened. Society has already started functioning in and around the rules of needing these types of workers, these types of people, making a certain living or wage expectation. And so I don't know how you put the genie back in the bottle. You have to cut it off, but they're not going to cut it off because of the money that flows from these foreign countries or from these people who are from foreign countries into the pockets of politicians, the donations, et cetera, from these businesses that are dependent upon people coming in from these foreign countries that go to these politicians. You're not going to cut that off because, as we've seen in the state of Indiana, why will nobody do anything about Diego Morales? Why will nobody touch Diego Morales? It ain't like Rokita doesn't know what Diego is. Paperwork shows he fired the guy almost 20 years ago for being a complete incompetent buffoon.
But now he's endorsed him.
And given him $5,000. Why? Because a bunch of the money that touches Diego also touches Rokita. Why won't Braun do anything about it? You think Braun don't know what Diego is? Absolutely. And this is why Diego behaves in the arrogant, flagrant way in which he does and flaunts it at people, because he knows so much money that touches him touches these other people, and they ain't going to do a damn thing about it.
Okay, now ICE is hiring. They have a $50,000 signing bonus, $60,000 student loan repayment, and they say a 25% premium pay. So far, 78,000 Americans have applied to become ICE agents, and the latest one is actor Dean Cain.
Hey, everybody, Dean Cain here. And for those who don't know, I am a sworn law enforcement officer as well as being a filmmaker. I felt it was important to join with our first responders to help secure the safety of all Americans, not just talk about it. So I joined up. And here's your opportunity to join ICE. You can earn lots of great benefits and pay. Yet since President Trump took office, ICE has arrested hundreds of thousands of criminals, including terrorists, rapists, murderers, pedophiles, MS-13 gang members, drug traffickers, you name it. Very dangerous people who are no longer on the streets. You can defend your homeland and get great benefits like a $50,000 signing bonus.
Okay, so is this all part of the One Big Beautiful Bill and the border money? Is that where they're getting this from?
I'm blown away that Superman is an ICE agent?
Yeah, that's what he said.
Like, is he a legit one, or like, hey, I'm the honorary spokesman?
Right.
Like, am I going to head to the southern border? Am I going to see Dean Cain taking people down with this Superman cape on? Is that what I'm supposed to believe is happening here?
Yes, that's what you're supposed to believe.
Huh. Well, that does. What's my benefits? What am I getting?
The pay?
Yeah, what am I getting?
It was $50,000 signing bonus. You don't have the student loans though.
Yeah, that's no benefit to me.
$60,000 student loan repayment.
No, that does nothing for me.
And they say 25% premium pay.
But like, I mean, what am I gonna make? Do we know? Like, is that 50,000 and 25% premium
That's
pay?
the signing bonus.
Yeah, but I'm saying, like, what's the base pay? Let's Google this. Let's look up. Isn't it? How did you guys do radio before the internet? How much does an ICE agent make? Here we go. Are you ready?
Yeah.
AI tells me a range. Oh, this is a broad range. 48,371 to 167,603 annually. Now, if you told me, Rob, there's $167,000 and a $50,000 signing bonus, I'm intrigued in that. But if you tell me there's 48,000,
right,
I'm not doing that even with the $50,000 signing bonus.
You're not signing up for that.
I'm going to need the 167,603 annually plus the 50 grand signing bonus.
What sort of skills are you bringing with you?
Here it is. They break it down here. Boy, the internet's amazing, isn't it? Entry level is 48,371. That's got to be that, right?
That would be you.
Yeah, so that's only 90. I'd be taking a pay cut even with the bonus. Mid-level GS9 to GS12. You got family in the government. You probably know what that is. That's 63,148. Senior level GS13. That's 77,210. And top earners GS15.
Yeah.
How do I get to be a GS15, Case?
I believe that day's already passed.
Is Dean Cain a GS15?
Dean Cain could do it for free. He doesn't need their money.
167,603. I need to know how to be a GS15. I'm interested.
Probably if you're already an officer. And that's already passed you by.
But I could be a celebrity spokesperson like Dean Cain.
It's true. You could, at least for Indiana. It is Kendall and Casey. It's 93 WIBC.
Hammer and Nigel.
Now, the idea of Uber goes against everything we were taught as kids, though.
What's that?
Never get into a car with a stranger.
But there's betting.
Now we pay for it. We're literally paying the stranger to take us somewhere.
But at least there's some sort of vetting. You know the name of the person that's coming.
So you'll know your kidnapper. It's like having an alarm on your car. Great, I can hear it being stolen.
Hammer and Nigel, weekdays 3 till 7 on 93 WIBC and WIBC.com.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, ladies, are you interested in self-protection but don't know where to begin? Or maybe you're too nervous to enter the gun store alone? Well, let me introduce you to Premier Arms. They're more than just a gun store. Premier Arms is a supportive community dedicated to empowering women. They have a friendly, educated staff, and they'll provide personalized guidance, ensuring you feel confident in your firearm choice. Premier Arms is also home to the Buy Room. The Buy Room is a private, secure room which is utilized to buy estate, collections, or even your next or first gun. So whether you're a seasoned shooter or just starting out like me, this is the place you want to shop. Join the community today in Brownsburg at Premier Arms. They're online at premierarms.com. It's Casey Daniels letting you know Premier Arms is where female gun owners are supported. Call them today, 317-858-3030.
Do you have an idea for a book, fiction, nonfiction, or a children's book? We can help you put it together and bring it to market at Dorrance Publishing. We have thousands of testimonials from people just like you that we've helped get their books sold in stores and online. We've even got a service called The Writer's Coach. It's perfect for people that have a book idea in their head and they just need someone to help them put it on paper. Dorrance Book Publishing has been helping people just like you who have a book idea, written or not, for over 100 years. Imagine being counted among the most famous authors in the world with your very own book. Call right now and let us help you turn a book idea into reality. It's easier than you think. You just need a little help. Call us now.
800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. 800-879-4098. That's 800-879-4098.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
Oh! Somebody in the YouTube chat, you can watch the program on YouTube, by the way. It's Kendall Casey Show. Rob, that's Casey. I tried to apply to ICE. Mm-hmm. There's a 37-year-old limit.
Yeah.
You knew that?
Well, most of the time there is with any sort of military.
Is ICE military?
That's why I said your day is over. You can't do it. You're
ICE
too
isn't
old.
a military. It's a government entity.
Well, it's Homeland Security, though.
Immigration, Customs Enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
You're not in a military uniform walking around. You're a government employee, right? I mean, I wouldn't think of that as military.
Okay.
Well, look, if they don't want me, that's fine.
I think you're still too old.
Dean Cain is older than... How did Dean Cain pull it off then? See, now we're poking holes in the story.
I believe he was already in it.
He has not been... How old is Dean Cain, Casey? Let's look it up. What do you... I say Dean Cain is 60 years old. What do you say?
I don't think he's that old. I'm going to say 52.
All right, Kev, what do you say?
I already looked at the age.
Oh, you're out. Okay, all right. Dean Cain is 59 years old.
Oh, wow.
You would have still won, though, on The Price is Right, because I would have gone over.
Yeah.
But he's 59. Mm-hmm. So unless 22 years ago he was being Superman and ICE at the same damn time, he somehow figured out how to make it work.
He's a spokesperson, like you said, Ben.
See? Then I can get in on that.
That's what it
Hi,
is.
I'm Rob Kendall for ICE. Are you tired of illegal immigrants taking over your community? You can do something about it.
That was really good.
I just made that up.
I know. Look how talented you are.
Let me try again. Hello, this is Rob Kendall from the #1 rated Kendall and Casey Show.
Better.
Are you tired of people who snuck into this country taking your jobs? Get off your ass and do something about it. ICE wants you with the $50,000 hiring bonus, college tuition payments, and a whole bunch more. And by the way, you'll be helping your fellow man.
You know, I'm going to poke a hole in this idea. I think it's great. You would be brilliant at it. I like the edit that you added, by the way.
Which edit?
you included me in it, and the number one Kendall and Casey
Right.
show.
It's our show.
Right.
Even though you're being very difficult right now.
I feel like Governor Braun might have the approval of this or not. And
He doesn't run the federal government.
No, but I think that they would ask him, and he would say no.
They would look at our numbers. You know how endorsements work. They're not going to go to that delusional, demented old man and go like, hey, these guys have numbers that they've never seen before in the middays. What do you think, Grandpa? That's not how that works.
You don't think Kristi Noem would be asking him about it?
What would he say? The numbers aren't real? They care about people. It's like, see, this is the thing. People advertise here, not because they're running a soup kitchen, none of the goodness of their heart. All these people that advertise here are for-profit businesses for the most part.
Sure.
Or at the very least, they need people to come to whatever their thing is, and they do it not because they like us necessarily, but because people listen and they respond to the advertisements.
Get results.
They ain't going to care whether Braun likes me or not. They're going to care, can I get people to get off their duffs and go serve their country?
So if you would like Rob Kendall to be a spokesperson for you, call WIBC now and ask for the sales manager.
There is a list of things I won't endorse because I'm filthy rich now, so I can be very selective.
you?
Well, I'm richer than you think I am.
Good for you.
But for the most part, if you have a reputable business in which you're not currently finding yourself at odds with the federal government in some sort, nothing that can incarcerate me or put me on a watch list, I'll generally promote most products.
Okay, good to know.
I mean, that was a good off-the-cuff ad read,
it was
though.
really good. Yeah, I'm really proud of you. You did something.
Hey,
there.
speaking of doing something, you did something that I'm intrigued by.
Stayed up way too late last night is what I did.
You did. There is a new Delphi documentary.
It's on Hulu.
On Hulu, and you watched the first 2 episodes of it?
This is how ridiculous it is. So it's a 3-part docuseries. It's called Capturing Their Killer, The Girls on High Bridge. It features interviews with the girls' family members, both of their mothers, and I believe grandparents, investigators, a lot of different podcasters and Allen's defense attorneys. It's also the first time that Richard Allen's wife, Kathy Allen, spoke about the girls' deaths and her husband's prosecution. So as I mentioned, it's a 3-parter. I got into 2.5 parts of it. I've got like just a little bit left.
You
to
didn't
watch.
make it?
I know.
You stopped?
Yes, I did. I mean, it was too late.
You have that little stamina?
I had to go to sleep.
What do you mean? It was too late.
I was falling asleep.
What time was it?
I don't even want to tell you.
No, I want to know.
2 a.m.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like it was 11:30. It was like,
yeah,
oh,
no,
okay.
no. I started it late, and I just kept going, and I finally was like, I cannot. So I'm going to finish it up today.
Do you have an opinion? Did he do it?
The thing that got me, that made me think, yeah, they got the right guy, was the gun forensic.
Oh, okay. So whatever evidence was associated with the firearm, there's something with that.
Right.
I
felt like that was it.
I talked to a person who was very involved in Delphi. This has been a few months ago. And this person said the following things. And you know what? Now that we're friends with Doug, I'm going to try to get Doug Carter to come on and see if he'll back this up.
He was in the documentary. It wasn't him speaking to the camera, but it was a bunch of news clips from when it was going on.
I'll ask Doug about this because from us and others, he got a lot of crap from people about the investigation and everything. And he might, now that he's really found a voice, want to come out and talk about some of this. Maybe he won't. I don't know. But anyway, I'm talking to a person who's very involved in the Delphi stuff, and they said they said 2 things. One, the judge made a colossal mistake not allowing the cameras because all the public had to go on was the reporting from the reporters who are somewhat doing it from memory, somewhat are doing from notes. They're picking things that are most important to them or that they're trying to get in newscasts or whatever. And this person said the judge made a huge mistake not letting the cameras in the courtroom. Oh, Doug, he's listening right now. He said he would totally come on. Hi, Doug. We'll arrange that. That'd be fascinating to hear. We hear that. But this person said that was a big mistake because the evidence, the actual evidence, if the public saw it, they felt was overwhelming.
Yeah.
And that the gun evidence was the primo thing that if the public had seen that in real time, it would have been a case closed.
Yeah,
shut.
that's the thing that got me because as I was watching it, I went through just various stages of, oh no, it wasn't Richard Allen. Oh yes, it was. Oh, it was. What was the other guy? Ron Klain.
Keegan Kline?
No, the other guy who owned the property.
No, okay. Yeah.
And then for a while, oh no, I thought that's the guy who did it.
Did they talk about the Keegan Kline guy at all?
They did. He's in part of it as well. But then when it came down to the forensics of the gun, That's where I said, yeah,
That's what I heard. I heard the gun stuff is
more
overwhelming.
indisputable than anything else.
And it was a huge mistake not to let the cameras in the courtroom. Okay, our man Doug has said he will come on and talk about this. This will be fascinating because nobody probably knows this case
better than him.
Yeah. And
let's set that up.
The thing I love
Are you free Friday, Doug? Is he texting you back?
You stop. This is my friend. Live. You're not going to impede on my friends. You're not poaching my friends.
I'm not trying to poach anything.
You're not poaching my friends.
I'm trying to plan out the show for Friday in advance. That's all.
You stay in your little corner of the world, and I'll stay in mine, and we'll just meet in the middle here when it comes time to do the show each day.
Let's meet with the news next on 93 WIBC.
93 WIBC Mobile News. On the level, on the go.
Looking for who killed them. I'm Jarrett Lewis. Here's what's trending at 11:30. The deaths of 33-year-old Karen Clay and her 3-year-old son Carter are now being investigated as a homicide.
To preserve the integrity of this investigation, we will not be releasing any details at this time. Our investigators are working diligently and using every tool available to bring those responsible to justice.
Chief James Eisen speaking to WIBC this morning. He's asking the public to come forward with any important information. In Westfield, 25-year-old John Holden is now facing multiple charges, including attempted murder, for leading police on a chase and firing shots at them Tuesday afternoon. And Vice President J.D. Vance will be in Indianapolis tomorrow to meet with Indiana Governor Mike Braun and talk about various things, including redistricting the state's congressional map. Governor Braun has not ruled out calling for a special session to discuss redrawing the state's congressional lines. I'm Jarrett Lewis on the level, on the go, and on WIBC.com.
There's something timeless about radio. It's where stories are told, ideas are shared, and communities stay connected. Our generation grew up with it, and we still believe in the power of tuning in. At Howard Bailey Financial, we believe planning for retirement should feel just as familiar and trusted. That's why we're bringing real conversations and practical advice to the airwaves. Join us every Sunday at 9 p.m. for our Retire with Purpose Radio Hour, right here on 93.1 WIBC. We'll talk about what really matters in retirement, income you can count on, choices you can feel good about, and a future that reflects your values. Because some things, like good planning and good radio, never go out of style. Howard Bailey Financial, retirement planning that speaks your language. Howard Bailey Securities, LLC is an independent financial services firm and uses a variety of different investment strategies. Please see disclosures at howardbailey.com. The Retire with Purpose Radio Hour is a paid placement on each airing station.
Summers in Indy are great, but don't spend it painting. Do what your neighbor Don did. He called Rhino Shield.
Well, the home's built in 1948. Paint on the aluminum siding was peeling, and I couldn't find anyone who would repaint it until I called Rhino Shield.
Rhino Shield's better than paint. And the crew?
Painted all my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length of the house. And all of my aluminum siding, and I've got a front porch that runs the whole length. Once they were gone, I couldn't even tell that they were there.
With Rhino Shield's 25-year transferable warranty, you'll never have to paint your home again. And right now, you can get 10% off the regular price.
Well, I've told a lot of people, do the Rhino Shield. It's really a great product, and if you don't want to paint the house, that would be the way to go.
Here's Rhino Shield's Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino!
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey guys, it's Rob for Universal Windows Direct. You know, the heat was here and then it left and now it's coming back again. We've all been feeling it. And if your home isn't staying cool, your windows might be the reason why. You can blast that AC all day, but if your windows aren't doing their job, all that cool air is going right out the window, literally, and money with it. That's where Universal Windows Direct comes in. Right now, with Universal Windows Direct, for every 2 windows you buy, you're going to get the next 2 free. No limit. So, simple public school math says if you got 8 windows you need replaced, you're only going to pay for 4. It's that simple. Then on top of that, as if buy 2, get 2 free wasn't good enough. No interest for 5 whole years. That's 60 months. See how they did that? 12 times 5, that's 60. Public school math, once again. No interest financing, which makes upgrading your home not just smart, but affordable too. Now, some restrictions may apply. So to get all the details, and most importantly, schedule your totally free, no hassle, no obligation in-home estimate. Call Universal Windows Direct today. 317-659-7574. 317-659-7574. Or check them out on the web. Do them both. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. UniversalWindowsDirect.com. Tell them Rob sent you.
Do you need air conditioning service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Kirby Heating and Air Conditioning? Find that American Standard Air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Hey, I got an answer.
Regarding?
Well, that whole 37 thing.
You're talking about joining ICE.
Yeah, so last segment, Casey and I got into a big hayrube about... she was doing the thing where, like,
hey, Rube.
I'm a woman. I'm so much smarter than you. Let me tell you how it all works.
Oh, please.
And
you were doing like I'm the man. I'm dismissive of her opinion.
Well, I was just saying, like, common sense is Dean Cain at 59 years old is probably not out busting guys in ICE. And then we were trying to figure out why somebody on the YouTube had said, hey, I wanted to be in ICE, and then they told me you had to be 37. I guess that person is aged out of 37. I am old enough now where I am ineligible for employment.
Correct.
Where is the time
That's
going?
what I've been telling you. You can't do it, even if you wanted to.
But in my mind and in my behavior, I am still a very young person. In my mind and in my behavior, I'm still 25 years old.
Yeah.
And that's part of my charm.
Yeah.
Right?
Sure.
I bring a very youthful view to a very adult stuff.
Is that how you
And I
see
laugh
it?
at myself.
A youthful view?
Okay, so my old man, because he would know, he's a federal law enforcement officer.
Sure.
He chimed in. Of course, he waits until after the segment, so I look like a dumbass. And then this is what my dad does. He allows me to go on. And this is true in our life, in our conversations, at home. It's everywhere. He'll let me go on, and
After
then
you're out there publicly saying.
He'll calmly then tell me what I meant. And he's like, it always says, you know.
By the way, Rob.
The reason it's 37 is you got to retire by 57 for the hazardous duty stuff.
Okay.
And I was like, well, that would have been helpful. I have my phone right here. You could have said that while I was going.
You want him to call the hotline next time?
Yeah,
give your dad. Does your dad have the
No,
hotline
I'm not giving
phone
him
number?
anything.
No.
No.
I'm going to give it to him.
You know how much he...
Kevin, tell me the hotline phone number when
Yeah,
we get off the air.
stop, yeah.
So I'm going to give it to Rob's
So
dad.
the point is
so he can call anytime he wants to correct you.
That's why it's 37, Casey. It's 37 because you got to be done by 57 to get your 20 years
Get
in.
your 20 years in,
for
sure.
the federal retirement.
Yeah, there you go.
So what? I can't serve my country?
Not in that capacity.
out?
You're serving it in other ways.
That's kind of bullcrap because I bet if there was some world war, they wouldn't be like, well, Rob's 40. He's too old to serve his country. They'd ship me right to the front line somewhere.
Probably.
But yet when it comes to cashing in as an ICE guy.
Yeah, can't do that.
No.
Okay.
But I do think that endorsement thing is right up my alley.
Yeah.
Huge supporter of the mission, true believer, great ratings, high level of engaged audience. Yeah, perfect. I'd be great.
You would. You'd be great. Did you hear about this partnership Google and I&M did? It's Indiana Michigan Power.
No, it doesn't sound like I want to know.
Okay, so here's what it is.
That sounds like...
It's for a Fort Wayne data center.
Of course it is.
Yeah. It's going to help I&M provide reliable and affordable power by allowing Google to shift electricity usage during high grid stress times.
What the hell did you just say?
Means they're going to be able to change how much power they're sucking.
Google is going to be able to tell the data center they can't use as much power? Or they're going to be able to take power from other people that they're using?
Google will tell Indiana Michigan Power, okay, we'll use less right now if there's stress on the grid.
But
Google can adjust its electricity consumption based on real-time grid demands.
Yeah, but are they going to take power from everybody else too? Or is it just Google who's willing to go down? Because I got a feeling, no, and I'm not blaming you for this. I know you're just reporting the news. But I got a feeling that this ain't going to end up with just Google. Because does Google strike you as the sort of company that's like, we'll just do more with less? does Google, one of the largest, and Kevin knows I'm right because he's smiling over there, and that's when I know Kevin is engaged. He has a smile on his face because 90% of the time, Kev is a lifeless, blankless stare and is like, just get me away from these people. But there he had the smile, which means he knows I'm right, which is Google. Google is not going to be like, yeah, it's fine. We'll just do it less. It'll be great. Everybody else, 10 years from now, we'll be hearing what everybody else is doing with less. Doesn't that what this sounds like to you?
So you're not trusting Google to adjust their electricity consumption, their needs.
You know what I trust
based on the grid demands.
You know what I trust
Okay,
Google?
yeah, we promise we'll turn it down. We'll use less.
I trust Google to tell me how old Dean Cain is. That's what I trust Google for, and they did that very well. That's great. I do not trust them to do with less so that other people can continue to not suffer. I think they would make me suffer in a heartbeat.
Do you think that they will be transparent about their energy needs? Not expecting that.
Look, these data centers, we know so little about them. The same thing with the artificial intelligence technology, too. And I think Indiana is just opening itself up to a Pandora's box of hurt down the road in terms of, one, the cost of obtaining basic necessity, which is power, and two, the ability to even get it. I think we're going to look back on this time and all these things that are getting approved, and it may take 20, 30, 40 years before the actual pain is fully inflicted, but it seems like a very dystopian existence we're setting up for ourselves.
Okay, now speaking of power, let's talk about AES. You know, they requested a 13.5% rate increase for homes that use at least 1,000 kilowatts of power per month. And the Regulatory Commission was going to decide if they could do that. I believe today is the day that they get word on whether they can increase the rate.
This is going to be a thing now going forward. It's going to be a never-ending thing of these rate increases because there simply is not enough technology with all of these new things coming online, which, Casey, brings me back to the question I keep asking. If all the growth is not making things more affordable or the taxes lower for everyday, lifelong Hoosiers, why are we doing it? What's the point of the big building? What's the point of having the thing there? What's the point of extrapolated anything, housing developments, whatever, if your utilities keep going up and your taxes keep going up, which is the reoccurring thing that we keep talking about? Why are we doing any of it?
Okay, so there's a town hall tonight, the Citizens Action Coalition, offering people a chance to sound off about the rates from AES. It's tonight at 6:30.
Where's it at?
It's at 1915 West 18th Street. 6:30 tonight.
Okay, we have breaking news in the YouTube chat.
What's
now
that?
This person, Michael, wrote in the YouTube chat, Pam Bondi waived the age requirements for ICE on Fox this morning. Can she do that? Can she just go on a television show and waive that?
Wow.
So you are good. So now the offer is back on the table.
Dean Cain is back in.
We're very concerned Dean Cain had aged out of ICE. I am strongly considering being in for the 167 whatever plus the $50,000 bonus.
That's the only way you're going to do it?
Look, I would be taking a pay cut at the low level. I'm not doing that. And I'm not doing a neutral shift either.
I wonder if do you just sign up? I know there's a vetting process, clearly, but is it like an interview process? Like what kind of skills are you bringing to the table, Rob Kendall?
Well, here's what I bring to the table. I'm smart, quick on my feet. I am a law-abiding citizen. No felonious actions in my past. I have paid all of my taxes every single year. I've held a stable job, both as a business owner and then working here for the past 9 years. I mean, I bring a lot. This will shock people with this statement, but I do bring a lot of stability to whatever position I'm entering.
Well, they probably do have many positions available.
Right.
Like they may need you to have a desk job.
And I'm fine for the 167 whatever. I don't really care what it is. I mean, you probably don't want me. I can use a weapon. I have used a firearm. I have one in my home. I would feel comfortable using it if my life or my family's life were threatened, no questions asked. But I'm not sure you would want me as the guy on the front line. Although, they used to have those during the war where those guys would entertain the troops. I would be the perfect guy to be out there motivating those people on the front line. Hey,
Can you sing or dance?
You guys, no, but I'm just most of those people have the same political views as we do. I just entertain them. That's what we could do. You and I could take this radio show on the road to entertain the ICE agents.
There you go.
We'd be like the modern day Bob Hope.
Right, there you go. Get
That'd
on
be
the
perfect.
stage. Okay.
What do you think? 167 whatever plus the $50,000 signing bonus.
Do you get hazard pay? Like, is there any sort of hazard pay level?
I would accept whatever they need me to do. I would take this radio show to whatever border town you need it in for the 167 whatever plus the $50,000 signing bonus. So what are they in? They're like $220,000, and I will go entertain the masses. That's a drop in the bucket. What do you think they're paying Dean Cain?
Who do you think is going to pay for that, though? Your salary to go entertain?
Well, the taxpayers would be paying it.
Right.
And I would thank them every day.
Yeah, you're okay with that?
I would give them their money's worth.
Okay.
You would get immense value. I would do the entertainment of 9 people.
Abdul's going to join us next.
Oh, we're going to talk about. He's got some latest rumor, gossip, innuendo on what's going on with this AI porn story.
Okay.
And so he will fill us in on the latest that has crossed his desk.
All right, you're listening to Kendall and Casey. It is 93 WIBC.
Hey, this is Rob.
And this is Casey.
Radar has a big expose on Epstein's secret history as an FBI informant.
Join us Wednesday, 9 until noon on 93 WIBC.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Hey, guys, it's Rob for Life Church. You know, we love Life Church. They've been so good to me and to my family. It's the place we call home. And Life Church would love the opportunity to meet and welcome and get to know you and your family. They make it super easy for you. We go to the Eagle Creek campus, but they got campuses across central Indiana, Noblesville, Fishers, Eagle Creek, and Pendleton, plus awesome online services. You got nothing to lose. You got everything to gain. Check it out. Learn more about everything on the web, lifechurchin.com.
It's time. You've been putting off that kitchen or bath remodel long enough. What are you waiting for? Get started today with Boer Remodeling. Boer Remodeling customer Kathy had a bath remodel with Boer. Kathy, talk a little bit about your experience.
Our experience with Boer has been terrific. The process was so easy and seamless. When we decided to do a larger remodel of our first floor, Boer was the first company we thought of hiring.
And were you happy with the results?
The results are amazing, and we are so happy with our home and the work that Boer did.
Peter is another recent Boer Remodeling customer with a new kitchen. Peter, what was the best part about working with Boer?
We especially liked the active participation that we were able to have in selection of stone for the countertops. Really came out beautiful. The cabinets also came out very, very well.
The best materials, the most skilled craftsmen in central Indiana. They'll guide you through the entire process. Start with a free consultation. Talk to Boer Remodeling today. That's BOOHER, BoerRemodeling.com.
So, where's the lake?
Not here.
But it says Great Lakes Honda Fishers.
Right. I just don't see a lake.
Who needs a lake when you can lease a 2025 HRV LX all-wheel drive for $329 a month and 0 down?
That definitely won't soak our bank account.
Oh, it's the old Honda Fishers.
Great Lakes, great people, great cars.
But no actual lake.
Visit us off State Road 37 for special pricing during our summer sales event. With approved credit through Honda Financial. In-stock new Hondas only, not combinable with other offers. All fees due at signing. Loyalty or conquest rebates may apply. Offer ends August 31st. See dealer for details.
And your home court with Franciscan Health's top-rated cardiac heart care. No traveling, no waiting. Just award-winning heart care right where you live. Rated #1 in Indiana 2 years in a row for cardiology and cardiac care by Health Grades, Franciscan Health offers first-in-the-world treatments, cutting-edge technology, and unmatched compassion because we believe every heartbeat is extraordinary. Don't sit on the sidelines with heart trouble. Schedule a same-day cardiology appointment today at 317-893-1900.
The Attorney General's Office, reuniting Hoosiers with over $1 million in unclaimed property every week. Visit indianaunclaimed.gov or text Tony Katz to 46220 today.
Check out what's going on with 93 WIBC.
Listen to Hammer and Nigel this week for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see Rod Stewart with Cheap Trick, Saturday, August 9th at Ruoff Music Center.
More info online at WIBC.com.
Well, we're still trying to get to the bottom of what's going on with these allegations of AI porn being viewed in the lieutenant governor's office and who knew what and when. And so let's bring in a guy who, well, big portion of his life is, how do you describe it? Rumor, gossip, and innuendo?
That's half my job. The other half of my job is to find out things that most people don't want to be made public.
Abdul Keep Shabazz, you know him as the owner and operator of IndiePolitics.org. Hello.
Just back from Michigan, had a nice, relaxing, peaceful trip. My wife was happy, comic books, relaxation, and then I come back here.
Yeah, look, obviously there's a whole bunch of stuff going on right now. You've got the stuff with the redistricting, which, as we've said, this is ridiculous. Just a bevy of things going on right now. But I think one of the big stories, and I think it is gaining traction, is what exactly took place in the lieutenant governor's office related to this artificial intelligence pornography allegedly being viewed, shared of Craig Haggard's wife. You have been doing some digging, as have others, and there is now a big rumor going around that the Marion County Prosecutor's Office may be looking into more than just this.
Yeah, I've been told by very reliable sources, and by the way, this will all be in this weekend's cheat sheet, by the way, so shameless plug.
If you want to get all the information, you can get that subscription over at indiepolitics.org.
Thank you, sir. Yes, what I've been told is there are sort of simultaneous state investigations going on, and also very likely federal investigations going on, because number one, on the state level, you've got possible claims of retaliation. Was somebody sharing pornographic material, which sort of similar to the which by the way is also interesting because I would say it was Mike Braun's wife who was a big who was sort of led the charge on sharing internet porn and stalking revenge porn and that whole category of stuff. So I think it would be ironic that if someone is actually arrested and charged at the federal level, it's technically because of Mike Braun's wife, who is tied to Monica Beckwith, who's tied to the Knuckleheads, who's tied. I guess it's like a three-dimensional Marvel film.
But there are rumors out there, correct me if I'm wrong, that you've heard that there were already some sort of investigation going on into something. Because people are like, how did the Marion County Prosecutor's Office show up? Because Haggard has said it, Craig Haggard, LaBianco reported it.
Time cards.
Well, okay. You just go on.
Time cards. That's all I'll say.
Okay, very good. So, that is what you had heard, is that there is some sort of investigation was already going on potentially into the lieutenant governor's office.
I was told it involves time cards and employment.
Okay, so
and some guy named Casper.
You have covered Indiana politics and government for 20 years. We got into this with Jim Merritt earlier. Have you ever heard of a story like this, or is there any story that you've covered in the past 20 years that you would say that's on the level of weird of the allegations in this story? That's what they are right now. They're simply allegations, but it is bizarre.
And I should have known something like this was bound to happen because every time I leave and go on vacation,
well, I can't leave
for a few days. Something stupid always happens. For example, I was in Chicago on vacation to visit my parents years ago, and then the whole Phil Hinkle sex scandal stuff broke out. Another time, it was like the RIFRA thing. That all happened. So it's like, apparently, whenever I leave town, something stupid happens, and usually it has the collateral damage is really huge and really big. And this has the potential to have some major collateral damage in all political sectors right now.
One of the issues at play here is there's the thing itself, right? Like, did this happen? Did these guys who who are alleged to have done this. By the way, real quick, I do want to branch off, and we got into this with Jim Merritt a little bit. Tom LaBianca is a known quantity around here, the guy who broke the story because he wrote for Star for years. Guys like that, and we talked about this in State House Happenings, don't know exactly what he's got, don't know what his sources are. Guys like that, usually, though, if you think about it like how people would write a television series, they end with what's the season, like they start with what's the end of the season going to be? What's the big reveal that you go, everything led up to this? And then they work their way backwards, right? It blows my mind that a guy like that would name these people and would go down this path without some sort of thing in his pocket at the end when he's like, okay, I've had enough of doing these stories. Here's the big reveal. Doesn't mean he's doing it that way, but just knowing this guy and how these guys kind of operate, that would surprise me if he didn't have something.
And a matchmaking is kind of like trying a case. Like, okay, what do we want the outcome to be? Guilty, not guilty, liable, not liable. Mitigate damages, not mitigate damages. And then we sort of build from the outcome that we're trying to get. Now, obviously, you got to change, as we get new information, new evidence, new testimony, the whole 9 yards. But at the end of the day, what if I can totally see Tom, and knowing Tom for years, because we kind of sort of that same approach. What's the point of this story? Now let's start filling in. It's sort of like drawing a reverse blueprint.
Right. And guys like that, they have what they want, and they will get what they want out of it. He's a freelance journalist. Like I'm not saying anything that I don't think the public knows, which is his job is to get as many people to read his stuff because he is a for-hire journalist as he possibly can. It would not be out of the realm of possibility to think he wants to get 7 or 8 stories out of this. He's not going to put it all out there in the beginning if he wants to keep getting people to read
and
his
by the way, people like Tom and I, we're in the reputation business. Our reputation is our coin of the realm. That's how we make a living based on what we do. And why you would purposely do anything to harm your reputation makes absolutely no sense. So for them to accuse Tom of lying, he's making all this up, he's got no credibility. Why would he do that? Like let's be serious. Why would Tom go through all the grief and hassle to do all the research, put out a story that's not fundamentally true or fundamentally right,
and open himself to a major lawsuit?
Exactly,
because he named the guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Real quick on this, the other thing that is now in play is there's the story itself. Did this happen? Did these guys share this thing? It's obviously state rep's wife. That makes it another layer to it. But Micah has made definitive statements. He's made definitive statements. His office investigated it. He's made definitive statements. These guys didn't do this. That I think he said he didn't know about it. That's the other side of it now. If any of that stuff gets disproven, that is as big or a bigger story than whether the guys did it or not, because he's made definitive statements.
And the thing to remember about those definitive statements is, it's the old joke, it's never the crime, it's the lie.
You've said that for years. It's the cover-up.
It's the cover-up. And so if I can prove that he was a liar in this one, Your Honor, then guess what? We're going to impeach his whole testimony because you can't believe anything he says.
Yeah, and again, we always want to preface this, as Craig Haggard, I believe, said in the Indy Star article today, nobody has actually seen this video publicly saying they've seen the video yet that we're aware of. And everybody's innocent until proven guilty, and we'll just see what happens. But I'll wait to read my cheat sheet this weekend.
It's like the blueprint of the Death Star.
Abdul Kim Shabazz, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, all right, that's going to do it for us today. Great job, Casey. Thank you, Kevin. And most importantly, thank you to you, the listener. Without you, there is no us. Kendall Casey Show, 93 WIBC.
This is the soundtrack of summer.
And new memories are waiting at your Indiana State Fair.
Today is Military and First Responders Day, presented by Ivy Tech College, including free admission for our heroes. Featuring the Big Top Circus, presented by B Window, Wolves of the World, and another free concert with Indiana's own Babyface. Plan your trip at IndianaStateFair.com.
Sounds like fun. Your Indiana State Fair, presented by Get Prepared Indiana. Are you ready to build your custom dream home? Joyner Homes is ready to make your dream come true. Over 18 years, Joyner Homes, based out of Greenfield, have built hundreds of homes in central Indiana. And the best place to start is JoynerHomes.com. That's where you'll find pricing, photos of completed Joyner homes to inspire you, available home sites, and info on where you can visit their model homes, and a lot more. Be sure to check out Joyner Homes' 5-star Google reviews. Get started today at joynerhomes.com.
Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers. Come see the full line of breathtaking Lincoln vehicles at Indiana's premier Lincoln dealership. From the moment you arrive at Tom Roush Lincoln, you'll know you've arrived. Shop over 200 new Lincolns in our state-of-the-art family-owned and operated dealership with no pressure. Just the award-winning service and respect you deserve. Plus, with any new Lincoln, your first 5 oil changes are on us. Luxury awaits you at Tom Roush Lincoln and Fishers.
First 5 oil changes complimentary with any new Lincoln purchase or lease. See dealer for complete details.
Tune in to the Absolute Retirement Planning Show.
When retirement comes about, we're now relying on what we have saved to meet those needs.
Sundays at 9 a.m. right here on 93 WIBC.
Drexel Interiors, the place to go for upgrading your kitchen, bath, or flooring. Schedule your free design consultation at drexelin.com or visit their showrooms today. Go where the pros go.
On the level, on the go. 93 WIBC Indianapolis.
Coming up.
Autopsies were conducted yesterday.
The Miami Correctional Facility is undergoing a major expansion.
By the way, I have to say that somebody from Doge was very badly hurt last night.
The state has 9 congressional seats.
And then the following week in Green Bay, Daniel Starr.
This is the WIBC News at noon.
What police say the evidence shows.
It's sunny and 76 in the Circle City. Highs reaching 86 today. I'm Jarrett Lewis.
And I'm Ryan Hedrick. Here's what's trending at noon.
Autopsies were conducted yesterday, and as